it's technically illegal, guys. Like, it is illegal in our country, like here in the USA.
Bigspin Podcast, Fingerboard Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning back in to another episode. Not just any episode, though. This is an episode that I am legitimately fangirling over. We just had breakfast. I already told you, so you're about to hear it again. So many nights I've spent in this garage making videos, and not only making my own videos, but watching other people's videos. And a lot of those times, they're Chris Daniels videos. And now he's here on the casting couch with some Spanish shoes on. Welcome, Chris Daniels, to the pod. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling so excited to be here, and it's an honor to be with you here and have some fun explaining about maybe my perspective on fingerboarding and whatever else you may ask me.
Dude, it feels crazy to hear you say that, because listen, crazy story. 2 years ago, before I started the pod, I was sitting with Clay, and we had a conversation about me starting the Bigspin. And I told him, I said, it would be sick to start a fingerboard podcast. And, we kind of joked about it a little bit. It was the same time that we confirmed he would be my first episode. And I remember joking with him, and I was like, could you imagine if I have like Black River on, or Mike, or Chris Daniels? And I remember we laughed about it, got on the plane, went to our first rendezvous together. And I had the pleasure of doing the Black River pod like a year and a half ago. Just did the Mike pod. And now here you are.
3 for 3.
Dude,
let's go.
3 for 3. So listen.
What's next?
Listen, you'd be surprised. We have some stuff cooking.
Hell yeah.
We got some stuff cooking. Listen, for those listening that may not fully be in the know with who Chris Daniels is, give us your take on who Chris Daniels is. Because obviously, if you ask people in fingerboarding all throughout the years, you're gonna get totally different answers, right? My favorite fingerboarder, my favorite YouTuber, all this stuff, right? The guy who skates with his hand upside down. In your own words, give us a high overview. Who is Chris Daniels?
Hey, everybody. It's a pleasure to be on here and to share with you about who I am and my experience. I'm Chris Daniels, otherwise known as CD Playa, CD Playa Zero, Crisco D. There's 100 different nicknames. Freaky Daniels.
Hey, man.
There we go. The birds love
we
that.
definitely got to ask about that.
Yeah.
Got a couple questions about that.
But anyway, I'm Chris Daniels, been fingerboarding since 1998, been involved in the online fingerboard community since 1999. And, just love fingerboarding. It's a passion of mine, but also I love building communities too. So over the past probably 20 of those years have been involved in either forum, like moderating, administrating forums for fingerboarding, having a big, huge blog that created content for fingerboarding. I guess I've been creating content for a long time too. I didn't even realize it.
You were literally documenting. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, so Chris Daniels has been documenting fingerboard history for years, only to become part of fingerboard history.
Hey, look at that.
Dude, man.
It's weird how the world works.
It's funny how the world works. Right, here you are.
Here I am.
You know what I mean? You were like on my computer right there, and now you're here.
I'm here. Came from Seattle, guys. That's where I'm based out of.
And
Northwest.
Listen, we've been trying to do this for a while.
I know. Years.
Yeah. And it just, listen, we linked up. It was great. Didn't imagine us having breakfast together, but hey, man.
Hey.
Now I know you're a French toast guy, which I respect.
I like French toast.
Normally I would have matched you on the French toast, but, I got to keep it light with some fruit.
Yeah. It's been getting more difficult to eat the heavy stuff, but I was like, it's been a long time since I had French toast. Let's knock out a couple.
Yeah,
slices.
with some sausage too.
A little bit of sausage.
I took you more for a bacon guy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like bacon, but sausage.
All right, let's do this. Before we dive in, sometimes like when I'm doing brands and stuff like that, I like to talk about the brands and then the names and stuff like that. But I feel like everyone who knows you online, obviously you know you in person is Chris Daniels, but everyone who knows you online, CD Playa Zero or the CD Player. Talk to me a little bit about the name before we jump into it. Just a little background on the name, CD Playa. And I got to be honest with you, when I was writing that question, it kind of hit me, Chris Daniels, CD. It never clicked until then. But give me the background.
Absolutely. First, it's not my original fingerboard screen name. I actually had that from a different. Came up with that name separately. One of my friends back in high school. This would have been sophomore year.
Yeah.
we would be making electronic music. Back then we used Fruity Loops.
Little dubstep.
Now it's FL Studio.
Yeah.
It's a little bit before the dubstep became big.
Damn.
But I was doing more of like little trance or techno EDM style music, and I had a little CD I released, and I didn't have a DJ name. And my friend was like, "Yo, your name should be CD Playa because you have a CD. Your initials are CD. My middle initials a P too, so it kind of CDP."
Yeah.
And then the playa parts, because it's exactly as it sounds. I was
Kinda rolls
popular with the birds.
Hey man, with the birds is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe I have Chris Daniels on the pod right now, and he just mentioned the birds.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Listen, that's crazy. We're making history right now, man.
Absolutely.
Listen, and I love the absolutes. You're spamming them, bro.
I
had to
am on
stop.
purpose.
I had to stop spamming them because the internet just trolled me so hard about it. But I'm cutting loose. Absolutely. All right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Listen, let's do this. Let's start with giving a little background on where you're from. And I hate to do this to you, but I have another story. Right off the bat, I have another story. Most people don't realize the tie-in. A couple episodes, I've asked people like, "Oh, let's talk about like early life or baby Chris Daniels or whatever." Or sometimes I'll say like, "Oh, let's talk about the night of conception." That actually comes from your episode on the Mike Pod when he talked about early Chris Daniels, and you're like, "Oh, that might be inappropriate." And dude, at the time, now it's still kind of funny, but at the time I laughed so hard at that. And that's kind of where that stems from. So there it is, man.
Hell yeah.
There
Influence the question.
I was about to say, man, Chris Daniels influencing the big spin. But listen, let's talk about early Chris Daniels, baby Chris Daniels. Where are you from? What was it like growing up there?
Sure. So I grew up just outside of Seattle in a suburb. At that time, it was Bellevue. And then my parents moved to a unincorporated part of the county, which is now known as Newcastle.
Okay.
Been there for a long time. I went off to college for a period of 4 years in Spokane, Washington too.
Yeah.
But basically my whole life have lived there the entire time. It's beautiful up there. Nature's fantastic. So it's been a great place to grow up. You're close to the city. You're also not totally tethered into the hustle and bustle unless you want to be too. So
right.
Fantastic place to grow up. And then about me as a kid, I was very active in sports as a kid. Always been passionate about different types of sports like baseball and basketball, swimming and water polo, the sports that I really got competitive in. So those were some things I was really into. And then what's really funny is I've always been into skateboarding. So kind of ties into fingerboarding.
Yeah, a little action sport.
Yeah, and the big thing was Michelangelo, right? You see him with the little skateboard, right?
Hell
like
Ninja Turtles?
1990 or so, yeah. And then Rufio and Hook, he had the skateboards, the Lost
Shout
Boys.
out Rufio, dude.
Yeah, and so like always had those action figures, and they had the little skateboard toys with them. And so I'd play with them,
Okay.
But not that I was fingerboarding, but I'd play with them all the time.
Yeah, just kind of getting you exposure to it.
Exposure to
Early
skateboarding.
exposure.
And then I remember a little bit later on, this would have been like second or third grade, in the library, they had this book, and I found the book actually.
Damn.
I don't remember the name of it, but it was like this big book about skateboarding.
Okay.
Made in like 1989.
Damn.
So like I was enamored by it. On the cover is Christian Hosoi doing a Christ Dare.
Damn,
like the sickest
dude, the Christ
cover.
Dare, man.
Yeah. And so I saw that. I'm like, this is so cool. And then I found out my neighbor, his brother is like 20 years older than him.
Okay.
He had 2 skateboards, and they were from the mid 80s. One of them was a Christian Hosoi board.
Damn.
Hammerhead, and the other one was Mark Gator Rogowski.
Damn.
Which,
there you go, man.
Yeah. So skateboarded, we'd just fly down the hill back then, skate my basketball court.
Yeah.
Try to learn how to ollie, but those boards were too heavy, like for a little tiny guy to learn. But then we got
the shapes were wonky too.
They were really hard. Yeah, they were hard to use.
Yeah.
I love going back and using them now, but back then it was really heavy. And this was like, 1993, 94-ish. Yeah. And then X Games started. And
street skating kind of became more of like prevalent at that time as well.
Yep. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I was always into skateboarding. So I started really skateboarding around 1997 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, man. And I, aside from like skateboarding and fingerboarding, I feel like you're very much like myself with like tons of like early special interest.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like, doing the research for the pod, I know that you dabbled in magic.
I like magic a lot. Yeah.
Couple card
right
tricks.
down the street, down the street in Renton. That's the school district I went to. Wizard of the Coast was founded there.
Damn.
Their headquarters are not even 5 minutes away from my parents' house.
No way.
Yeah. Right on the lake.
There you go, man.
I got a good story about that. And this is unrelated to fingerboarding, but it's a good story.
Listen, at any point, and see, so I've said this in a couple different pods, but like the Mike pod, the Sid pod, Black River pod, especially with your pod, I have a little bit of like a to kind of guide the conversation, but this is your pod. I want you to be happy with it at the end. And honestly, if you feel like we're skipping over something or something needs more information, feel free to like reel me in.
Sure.
Listen, I'm just the guide. And aside from magic, right? You also competed in like a Halo tournament. Is that right?
That's correct. I'm surprised you know that. Yeah.
Hey, man, we got to know this. You're
few
Chris
Halo
Daniels.
tournaments and
Yeah.
I love that game. I haven't really played it as much. Infinite was really fun. I wish it would have ended. Or they would have done the roadmap, actually completed it, but that's really fun. And so
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Listen, before skateboarding really took over, because I know you kind of mentioned Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. Was it like in your timeline, does fingerboarding kind of come first, or does skateboarding come first, or how does that kind of work itself?
I'd say skateboarding definitely came first just because of time. Like I was exposed to it earlier. I started skateboarding as a kid earlier. And then fingerboarding came about right in 1998, which is when, X Concepts started Tech Deck and was distributing them. Right. And I can tell you about that story if that's cool.
Yeah, so let's do it. Well, before you do that, tell me, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
That's a good question. If I had to pick one, it'd be Michelangelo, unsurprisingly, because of the skateboard and the nunchucks. But I liked each one. Yeah. They're all awesome. Donatello, 100%. Big brain, cool, collected. Leonardo, 100%. The courageous leader. Raphael's also like the clever mean guy, but mean. Yeah, I love them all.
That's my guy.
Raphael's rad.
Listen, I can't tell. I was a Ninja Turtle for at least 5 Halloweens back to back growing up.
Gotta spam that.
Gotta spam it, dude. Why you can? You know what I mean? Back in the band days, I remember we'd like in certain breakdowns of songs, I would pull out like my old Ninja Turtle mask and put it on. It just became a thing, man. Shout out the Ninja Turtles. Anyways, back to your story. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. That's a good question. Need to answer it. I was doing a swim camp at Stanford University, and this would have been maybe June or July 1998.
Are we talking like real Stanford?
Yeah, real Stanford. But I'm like a little kid though, so it just costs a lot of money.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how good you are. I was good at swimming, but not the best.
Okay.
My brother was a little bit better than me, but I was better at water polo.
Yeah. Just wanted to stick it to him just in case he's watching. Yeah. I was better at water polo.
Yeah. Amen to that. So I was at the dorm and getting ready to go get some food. I think it was probably breakfast. Yeah. And I heard this clicking noise. And so I come out of the dorm room out into kind of the main lobby area for the group of dorms. Okay. And there's some kids huddled around and they're throwing this little skateboard around. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I was like, okay, that looks kind of cool. So I watched them for like, 30 seconds or so. Yeah. And it's funny because you have the ramp right there, and they were. I knew. And obviously, I knew shortly after. It was the Tech Deck Fun Box with the 8 stair, the bank rail, and the quarter pipe with the blue centerpiece. Yep. And I was like, okay, that looks really fun. I want to try it, but I need to eat before this practice. Yeah. And so I left and hadn't seen it for a couple months, but it stuck with me. I still remembered it. Yeah. Fast forward a couple of months, or to the beginning of the school year. Yeah. First day of middle school. Everyone had them. They were everywhere. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I know what these are. Oh my God. So I talked to my friend. They're showing me the graphics. I'm like, I gotta get this. Yeah. And then, so that night I had swim practice, and after practice, like, Mom, please, can we just stop by Toys R Us? It's literally 3 blocks away from my pool. And she's like, okay. And so we went there. I got 2 fingerboards, Tech Decks, and they were the
best, man.
Yeah, it was like a maple. I still remember that maple skateboards, fingerboard, and then also a New Deal. And it was, I think, Rob Gonzalez.
Hell yeah.
Fly graphic.
Wasn't Bob Burnquist early on writing for New Deal, right?
I think he was really early on before he switched over to Birdhouse.
That's right.
During the Flock.
Damn, man. That's during the Flock's crazy. Listen, did you ever shop at KB Toys? You remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, when you said Toys R Us right now, I was like, dude, KB Toys too, man.
Oh, KB Toys was the best.
That was the move, man.
Yeah, we didn't have too many KB Toys like near me, but we would go to Hawaii every year. And they had a
Okay.
KB Toys in Hawaii, so I'd always go in there
Damn,
and
man.
buy some fingerboards from KB Toys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, man. That's fire. I'm glad they're bringing Toys R Us back.
Yeah.
Because, bro, my kids have never been to well, I lie. My oldest has been to a Toys R Us, but then they closed it all down. But now my youngest told my wife, I got to take him back. It's an experience, bro.
It is.
I brought my first PlayStation there and Game Boy.
Oh, man. You used to get everything from there.
Yeah.
Like, gosh, so much stuff. I could get these like huge fingerboard parks there back in the day, and a bicycle, whatever you needed, they had it.
I know, man.
Big warehouse.
It was a time. What a time to be alive, man. Listen, before we totally pass over skateboarding, because obviously you have such a rich history with skateboarding. Let me ask, who were some of your favorite skateboarders growing up and skateboard brands?
I'm gonna cough really quick.
Yeah, do your thing. Got to make sure we emphasize that in the pod.
Yeah,
Let's turn up
gotta.
the volume on that. Yeah.
So favorite skateboarders growing up. It's a good question. I've always been a big fan of Rune Glifberg.
No way. That was my guy.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 1.
Yeah, I played
With the
him
blue,
a lot.
with the blue jersey.
He was
I don't
my
know what it
favorite
was. Yeah. With the little cargo shorts.
Absolutely, and was
Love
able to go
that.
full circle with him too.
And the Christ Air. That was his thing.
He would do that too. Yeah, in the game.
Yeah.
Then who else? Jeff Raleigh. Who
That's
else?
a given.
Yeah, he was sick. I was really into like Gap skaters back then too, and handrails. So you could just think of all the big, heavy
All the heavy hitters.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Do you have a favorite skate brand growing up?
Good question.
Like, who's your go-to when you get in the skate shop? Who's your go-to for decks?
I would rotate, but
rotate?
early on it was like Alien Workshop, Habitat.
Ooh.
Early on, and then it
Okay.
switched over to just getting blanks. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'd
man.
Focus some way, and they break when you do stair sets, so I would just get blanks later on. But
Yeah.
in terms of other brands, I love Bones.
Hell yeah.
I love the team. Love their bearings back then.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite team.
Yeah. I was talking about with Ricardo from Bull God. He recently did a pod, and he was mentioning how like a lot of the times it's either Bone wheels or Spitfire wheels. Like,
Yep.
I mean, now we have so many other brands, and shout out to those guys, but it's like those were like the main two. You know what I
Yep.
mean? For a long time, arguably still the top dogs.
They're still great. Yeah, and
Still doing their thing.
I've used both Spitfire and Bones, but if I had to pick, I'm like Bones Brigade. Bones.
There you go, man. Listen, we talked about it a little bit at breakfast, but obviously with skateboarding comes, a lot of different stuff, landing a lot of different tricks, getting hurt and stuff like that. Do you have any like gnarly bails or anything like that as far as like from your skate days?
Yeah, I mean, I've like, doing handrails, you obviously hit,
Doing
you
handrails is
sack,
crazy.
Yeah. And that's happened. Never anything terrible on that.
Yeah.
I messed up my shoulder one time doing a rail where I like fell onto it. But the worst thing I had was actually not even that. It was on a flat ground. I, was telling you about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. With the ankle thing?
Yeah, there's this trick. I don't remember the name of it. Called a nerd flip is what it became known as. And it was
Okay.
Chris Cole did this trick where he would underhook his back foot while doing a nollie backside 360 shove it, and he'd underflip it with his back foot.
Like he'd catch it with his foot, right?
Yeah, and it would spin like a laser flip. And so like I went out and was like, I'm going to try this. Landed it first try, like bolts. And I was like, oh, okay, dude. My friend said, like, okay, let's film it. So we did it again, run it back, do it again, land, but this time I land too heavy on the tail, snap the tail, and also like just totally shred my ankle.
Snapping the tail is actually the craziest part of that story.
Yeah, I don't know how I did.
Yeah. Must have been a faulty tail.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of stair sets and stuff, so yeah.
Dude, the shredding your ankle on a flat ground's crazy.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was like a very sharp warmth and then numb instantly, and then my ankle just swelled up huge, and I eventually couldn't even skate back or walk back. I had to get picked up by security halfway back.
That's the worst, bro.
That was so bad.
Yeah. You always feel a little defeated when you have to get picked up from the
Oh.
skate spot. Like, Mom, it happened again.
Yeah, especially when you're at university too, and people
Yeah.
are looking at you on the cart and your ankle's up and it's like this big.
Yeah.
No, that was only injury I had that was really bad.
You got to just lie at that point and be like, I tried to kickflip a 20 stair.
I wish I could have lied about that.
Yeah, right. Just not told him it was like a nerd flip.
Nerd flip.
Yeah, why does your ankle look like a melon? Oh, I was doing a nerd flip. They would never understand it. Let me ask you, when it comes to, obviously you tell the story about, hearing the skateboarding and stuff like that at camp, but what do you think it was that like really kind of pulled you into fingerboarding?
Yeah, I think there's a few things to it. Number one, obviously, like I grew up and was enamored by skateboarding. Like it was something that I've always really wanted to do and get involved with. And I had started to skateboard by that point for like a year at that point.
Yeah.
Actually, like looking at CCS magazines and getting a skateboard deck, etc. That was the big part of it. Number two, all my friends did it. Like, you remember how popular it was?
Yeah.
Like, everyone did it.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I was just another one, and we would just be doing tricks that we would see in skateboard videos. And eventually they had the Fingers of Fury and Flying Fingers videos, so you could see even more of what's possible. And just like trying to replicate skateboarding. And then three, it's like, it's a collector item. Like, it looks really cool. Sure. You have a collection. You can get, I would even get like a skateboard deck and a fingerboard tech deck that has the same graphic. To match them. And it was a fun thing that you could do. And you could spend a lot of time doing it, especially in Seattle, when from beginning of end of October until, let's say, March, you really can't skate that much outside.
The weather and stuff.
It's just wet all the time.
You know what's funny is for me, early skateboard or early tech decking or tech decks, that's what it was. It was totally just collecting. Like, I had no idea that you can do tricks. You were supposed to do tricks. Like, I feel like that was just so foreign to me, like growing up. And I would see, you know, friends here and there, but it was more like on binders and stuff like that, or just like a little slappy 50. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't too crazy. And obviously the internet then, aging ourselves on the pod, is not what it is now. So like now you can just Google like how to do a kickflip on a fingerboard, and a Jake PFB video will pop up, you know? Yep. But back then it's like, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. And I'm glad you actually brought it up. So I was one of the early like internet users for fingerboarding. There was quite a few websites actually when I first searched for it, but I had been making websites already. I had a Pokemon website and a Dragon Ball website.
That's wild.
Yeah, like right before I started fingerboarding. So like I knew how to ask Jeeves, you know, or Yahoo something. Yeah. Funny how the terms change.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Jeeves is crazy.
Ask Jeeves. Hey, can I watch Jake PFB's AI episode?
Yeah. Dude, that's I still give him
still
shit
my
about
favorite.
The
my favorite.
AI tray flip.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll never live that down, man.
No.
I love that.
No.
Listen, it's funny that you bring up like early fingerboarding, right? Or on the internet. And we'll get into it more a little bit later, but you know, I've had so many people on that have been fingerboarding for years, and some of them talk about FFI.
Yeah.
And I think one of the first people to talk about that was Mallory.
Yeah.
And they talk about being on FFI, and that was like the place to be on the internet to share information, and we kind of find out about companies and stuff like that. It's crazy to think that so many people have been on the pod, including Mike, and they talk about joining, but you were actually an admin. So you weren't just like, you weren't just in the, you know what I mean? Like, you were like one of the fucking guys, you know what I mean?
I was one of them. And that happened a little later on. So,
right.
Yeah, I was joined FFI right at the beginning, but the funny part was there was two major forums for English speakers back then. Yeah. One was FFI, and the other one was RZF. RZF was like super elitist. Those are like the all the good people were on that one. Like if you know Remy Banks, Pitch Black, that guy was there with me, and a few other folks that fingerboard with that still fingerboard actually.
Yeah.
And then there was FFI, and so this one would kind of look a little bit down on FFI, but FFI was much more friendly.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why it lived and RZF died pretty quickly, you know, like within a couple years. Yeah. But FFI I joined early on, like right in 2003. Nate Thompson founded that website with, I forgot the other person's name. He didn't do anything really. It was all Nate, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great forum, great community. And
I love that.
Probably one of the biggest impacts on like the English speaking community that I could think of. Like it had a huge impact, and a lot of people from all over the world remember. So
yeah, it's crazy when you talk about FFI because you had mentioned before, because you know a lot of people don't realize this, but I mean, because they kind of see Mike as like, with respect to Mike, as like the start of it, you know what I mean, or like this god in fingerboarding, which again, respect to Mike, he's definitely a legend. But a lot of people don't know that you kind of predate Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fingerboarding kind of predates you and tech deck.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like, even for me, like I'm only like 5 years in. And you know what I mean? I mean, I started messing with tech decks in middle school, but again, it was trading and stuff. But 5 years actually looking into pro fingerboarding and the history and stuff. So it's one of those things where it's just like, there's just so much history. And in regards to FFI, it's funny that you mentioned that in another interview that Mike joined when he was like 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, he was super young.
And you talk about Mike being bullied, and now it's like,
yeah, he was.
Mike is the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, it shows you.
Yeah.
Like, and Mike has very tough skin.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, some of the stuff people would say were just cruel, and but it's like shows you how strong of a person Mike is.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And then he creates the company, and he's a visionary and all that.
Yeah, dude.
But, you know, I just think myself, how many people I bullied on the forums.
Oh, no.
I probably bullied, you know, a future FB.Christopher or maybe another Mike Schneider. And so, like, that's when I kind of had to realize I need to change how I act.
Man.
And that's all you guys out there that are friendly. You guys are awesome.
Keep it up, man.
Yeah. And the ones that are less friendly, please, like,
Lighten up,
reconsider what you're actually, like, how that impacts the hobby. Like, there's room for almost everybody. Not everybody. Almost everybody.
I like that you said that. Respect that you said almost everyone. Because, definitely almost everyone. You know,
Almost.
it's funny. If you go back all the way to the start of my Instagram, there's like probably 4 to 5 months of like my progression missing on there because I deleted everything. I was bullied so bad.
Man.
And I deleted everything. And it's like, then I started posting again after I kind of like got over it. But man, it's rough. Like when you first start and you like kind of want to be part of the community and learn about it and post about it. And man, people will, I mean, even till this day, they're still, I feel like it's not as prevalent because I feel like as a society, we're kind of not as cool with like bullying and stuff like that.
It's better now.
Yeah. But man, it was rough.
Well, and here's what I like to point out. The people that typically are the ones that are bullying, they actually suck at fingerboarding.
Hey, you said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I don't bully,
I can't say it because I'll get shit about it. But
I know.
You fingerboard upside down occasionally, so you could say it.
Yeah, and it's like there's no right or wrong way to fingerboard as long as you're having fun. Like that's the only right way.
That's beautiful.
And it can't be at someone else's expense. Like it's
What
okay
about
to
3 fingers?
you can fingerboard 3 fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
I like
in a
that.
contest, it's probably not going to work out. But if you like to fingerboard 3 fingers, or I mean, there's some people that can't use these 2 fingers, right?
Yeah,
And they have different ways of fingerboarding, and it's amazing that they're able to do that.
Hell yeah. See?
Yeah.
Fucking Chris Daniels, man. Can we just take a moment that we're here right now?
We're here right now, man.
We're here
after
right now.
like a wild 2 years
I
almost.
know, man. Listen, getting back to obviously discovering fingerboarding and the internet not being what it was, talk to me a little bit about how you learned those first set of tricks. Because in a lot of ways that people think like that, like Rodney Mullen invented the ollie and stuff like that. Like there was a time when, you know, there was people that were literally figuring out that you can do tricks on a tech deck, and you couldn't, you know, pull up a fucking Disney video of Tyler Rosenbauer doing, you know, showing you how to tray flip and stuff like that.
Right.
So talk to me about those early days about learning how to do an ollie, a kick flip, all like the basic tricks.
Sure. So it was pretty crazy. My middle school was like probably had some of the best fingerboarders at the time, probably in my age. There's another guy that was sponsored by the same team as I was. We didn't even know about it until years later. But how I learned how to fingerboard, a lot of us did, was we would tap the tail. Hand would be disconnected from the board, and we'd tap the tail so it pops up. And eventually we realized, we can control it and do an ollie. Yeah. I wish I had my board. It's right over there. But I would show it.
Cam.
Yeah. Pretend this is my board. You tap the tail, bring it up, and go down.
Karate chop.
Yeah. Basically karate chop with your 2 fingers.
Yeah. Damn.
And then we learned, you could control the flip. You could do a kick flip by just tapping it and going like this. And you could do a tray flip by scooping up like that. And eventually we could do all these different tricks into grinds and stuff. It was pretty crazy that we're doing it that way because looking back, that's way harder.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to control. And then we had like, I started going online 1999-ish, and I saw that people, there was a video of somebody doing it with their 2 fingers on. I'm like, I need to do it like that.
Yeah.
And so I started fingerboarding like that, and then there was the 2 tech deck videos that came out, Fingers of Fury and Flying Fingers. And shout out those guys, Matt Johnson, Darren Langhorst, Tony Potax, and Damian Bernadette. And Damian Bernadette, if you guys don't know, he owns Close Up Fingerboards.
Really?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Damn.
So all those guys are legends, and I would watch that video, my friends would, and then that's when we kind of changed how we fingerboard thanks to them. So we had like that, and then online, there would be like, you know, some GIF images. And then if you had good enough internet, maybe you could download one little tiny clip that was like 400 like kilobytes, and it would take forever.
Damn, dude. With the dial-up?
You'd dial up 28K
and if somebody
or 56K.
You have to,
then
then you have to.
we had
re-download.
multiple lines though in my house.
Okay. Yeah. No. See.
Yeah. We were lucky.
Oh no. I was, bro. My mom would just be like phone on top. You know, remember that?
Yep.
We had to leave it off the hook so nobody called.
Yep.
Here we are just aging ourselves, bro.
Yeah. The old days.
The old days, man. And listen, you really are the fingerboard historian. You know, hearing you talk about the guys from Fingers of Fury, it's like, dude, let me ask you something.
Sure.
We'll jump back into this in a minute, but when people call you like fingerboard historian, or even put you on like the level of like a legend, right? When they talk about you, and respectively, people do refer to you as like their favorite fingerboarder, a fingerboard historian. What does that mean to you now? Like, you know what I mean? How does that kind of make you feel? I mean, obviously starting out as someone who discovered fingerboarding and, you know, at Stanford, you know, in your swim class, years later, jumping ahead, obviously, but what does that mean to you now? Like, is it a heavy to kind of carry that title of fingerboard historian? A legend?
I think it's, I shouldn't say surprising, but I'm always like really happy to hear it, that I've had a positive impact on people. That's the most important thing. And that what I knew I wanted to give back to fingerboarding has made an impact on them. Of course, I love hearing that I'm someone's favorite fingerboarding. I mean, that makes me feel honored, makes me feel like I'm like soaring, you know. It's like, oh, that's so cool that this person likes me. At the same time, I'm like, well, I'm just a person, you know, like, am I really good at fingerboarding? Absolutely. But
I love that.
Yeah. But I'm just a fingerboarder, you know, like, and I'm glad a lot of people also recognize that I've been making impact beyond just my fingerboarding itself. Because for a long time, like my first, probably until 2008 when I started FB Weekly, which was the blog, all I did was just post clips, and I did do some moderating and administrating on the forum, but that really wasn't like super impactful for the legacy of fingerboarding. Right. It was more about me having a power trip. Yeah. Right. I'm just joking. No, I was bully Mike. I only banned when people did really bad things, and I usually was laughing when I had to ban them.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Back then, I feel like obviously as a society we've changed to where like certain stuff back then would fly and wouldn't fly today. So it's crazy to think that, like, you know what I mean? What kind of insults were being slung in the FFI time, you know, chat rooms at that time.
We had timeouts for people, but like the ones that would get you permabanned, you can expect it's like posting imagery of some sort of stuff. Yeah. And somebody would just crash out and just post on every single thing, and you'd see, and I'd be looking at every single picture, deleting after I banned them, and I'd be laughing. But you know, like I had to ban them. So but I always was like the lenient one, and I would try to reason with the other moderators. If someone was upset about something, like, well, look, like it really is not a bannable offense. Like, come on,
Damn, man. Closest thing I think we have to that now would probably be the Fingerboarding Unlimited group on Facebook, because that thing's huge.
Well, that thing's huge. There's a few of those Facebook groups that are massive. Yeah. That's very similar, but probably way bigger than FFI was in terms of total membership, obviously. Right. Active members, probably a similar size, maybe. There's also the Discord groups too that I feel are pretty similar as well. Kind of a hybrid between a chat room and like a forum, like fast-paced forum. So, and I'm active on that. I do look at the Facebook groups often, but sometimes I just have to hide the notifications for a bit because it gets a little dramatic at times. All of them get dramatic.
Yeah. No. And honestly, it's like, even myself, like when people add me to like group chats and stuff, like I always feel bad leaving because it did like FB.Christopher left the group, but it's like the amount of notifications I get on my phone already is like insane.
Oh, I bet.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I always have to tell people, like, if I don't text you back, just realize I have like 200 unread texts. Like, it's nothing personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's tough.
I actually like turned off notifications for all my social media accounts. I don't know. And a lot of other apps, like almost everything except for like phone calls, text messages, emails, and like my cat litter box.
Damn, dude, the cat litter box is
and
crazy.
Ring. So I can see packages. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And it's made me feel a lot better. But I also miss a lot of stuff. So people, if you're like reaching out to me and I don't answer, I'm sorry. It probably got lost because I don't have notification on. I'm trying to be healthier.
Dude, man, trying to get away from the internet.
A little bit, yeah.
Listen, we're still talking about early tech deck days. I think it's interesting that you were part of the era where DIYing your tech deck was still, I mean, now it's like you can find tons of videos. Like one of the most popular videos to make as a content creator is like upgrading your tech deck and, you know, easiest kind of thing to jump into. But I feel like at your time, it's like, it's almost like was a necessity at that point. You know what I mean? Because fingerboarding, I feel like, was outpacing, respectively was outpacing how tech decks were made and how they're performing. And so people were like nail polish on the trucks, shaving them down. Talk to me a little bit about that, like your first kind of experience with DIYing your tech deck.
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of newer fingerboarders don't realize how different tech decks were in the first handful of years versus the modern tech deck. The modern tech deck is actually really good. You have you can turn, your wheels actually roll.
That's the biggest thing is the wheels.
The wheels, yeah. And they're single axle too now, I think, for the trucks.
Yeah.
And the old ones were 25.5 millimeter wide. The initial ones had no concave, and then Gen 5, I think, or so, maybe Gen 3, Gen 5, they started introducing this concave shape too.
Yeah.
You had their trucks that were not single axle. That means you had individual axles for each wheel, and they would fall out, get loose, and you have to push them back in.
Super glue
them in, or Loctite them.
Yeah.
And then with the nuts, they weren't lock nuts. They would just fly off. Your wheel would go, and you lose your nut, right?
Part,
yeah. And so the wheels would not roll. You could hear the video clips, and they really don't roll. So
you're just dragging the board at that point.
You're dragging the board, and then just we would mod them in so many different ways. And a lot of the early websites, and I think the first website I know of that's on the internet doesn't exist anymore, but was about 1996.
Okay.
Hosted on Angel Fire, 1997 or so. And I wish I could find it on Wayback Machine. It was not captured, but that was the first reference I could find. And I found it referenced through Usenet, which is kind of like a predecessor to web forums.
Okay.
Yeah, different protocol. But back then they had how to modify your fingerboard. It wasn't tech deck. They weren't out yet. It said how to modify your fingerboard. And so it's always been a really important thing, how to make a fingerboard.
Right.
And a big part of the early fingerboard scene was DIYing and doing things yourself.
Yeah.
So you had all these websites where a big part of the content for you as a consumer of that content was, oh, this person has some tips. You click on it, and it usually, sometimes it was trick tip, but usually it was make your own kicker ramp. Oh, modify your tech deck.
Yeah.
And that progressively got better as we got some of the older people that got into fingerboarding that were actually handsy, knew how to do stuff. Not that type of handsy. You can't be careful. Gotta be careful with the birds. Yeah.
Gotta clip that.
Yeah, gotta clip it.
Yeah, clip it. Pause just to be safe. All right.
We can keep it.
We can keep it. Freaky Daniels this early in the pod?
Yes, sir.
Oh no. Let me ask you. Obviously, I thought it was funny that when talking about DIY and tech decks, I thought it was super funny that when you were on Mike's pod, you were talking about the lighter trick, which it's oddly enough, when Dynamic first put out their polycarbonate boards, I don't know, maybe about a year or two ago now. I remember Scotty giving me a board, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do a video on it." And I remember my first thought was oh, I can change the shape, and that was the whole premise of the video. And I remember I had a space heater, which looking back, probably not the smartest idea, but I had a space heater, and I propped the board up in front of it on a concrete obstacle. And I remember my wife called me, and she was just, I think, come up for lunch or something, and I totally forgot. And I went upstairs for an hour, and I came back, and it was. Yeah, it's safe to say I never put the video out, and it was bad. Yeah, it was bad. But I thought it was funny that Mike was talking about microwave or a toast, putting his board in his toaster.
Oh, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, and it's now he's he's super clean about what he eats and stuff, and there he is just downing microplastics
on his toast.
That's the best, man.
Yeah, that was fun. You could reshape your deck by applying heat. I did not use my toaster or toaster oven. I just used a lighter, which you could burn yourself. But you just go over a couple times, and then once it got pliable, you just bend it the way you want. Little discoloration, yeah. But really, you're just using it for the utility.
Hell yeah.
And then also people would shape the early wooden fingerboards. A lot of people would use a tech deck. They get their shape there, and then they Bondo to make the mold. Yeah. And that's how you get these custom shapes for the early wooden fingerboards.
Hell yeah. And listen, in one of your previous interviews, you talked about you would remove the tech deck grip tape and just straight up put electrical tape.
Yes.
What was the idea behind it? Was that easier for you at the time? And
it was actually my friend.
Thought process behind that?
Yeah, I had a friend that was really into fingerboarding too, and I had some clips of him, and he was really good at the time as well. We were both super good. He had decided to try electrical tape on top. He was the one that did that because it's black and it looks like
grip tape.
Yeah, it looks like grip tape, but you have if you remove the tape, it was very common early on to remove your grip tape and just use the plastic, and you could do tricks that way.
Okay.
A little bit of like,
which seems kind of insane now. You know.
Yeah, there's still some fingerboarders that do that.
Yeah.
And like there's HN Premium Fingerboards. That's Remy Gardner, an absolute fingerboard legend that no one really knows about but should. He made decks like that with no grip tape back in the day, and now he has his own brand, and they don't have traditional grip tape. It's just like plastic on top, and you apply a little bit of pressure, and the board kind of naturally subtly sticks. It's not really sticky, but it's like it will kind of come up with you. It adheres in a way somehow.
Okay.
And that's how it worked for that. Almost the same.
Love that. And you know what's crazy is like if you whoever's listening, if they've ever used like a really early tech deck, they know how insane they are to do tricks on. Yeah. And when I was doing like a deep dive, right? Or for instance, it starts out with when I was doing Mike's pod, he references one of your video parts. And I went back and watched that video part recently.
Oh yeah.
And listen, the shit you do in that video, not to mention the shirtless clips.
Oh yeah, the shirtless.
I was not expecting the Chris Daniels nips on my timeline, but
the nip clips.
Yeah, the nip clips are crazy. But it's even more crazy that if you scroll back on your Instagram, not even far, maybe like a year or two ago, you did a switch heel switch heel to like back tail, switch back tail on a tech deck, little yellow bench, which it looks like it's half broken.
It is half broken.
and it's it was falling over. And it's like I can't tell you how many times I watched that clip and just kind of sat there thinking like, there's no way I can interview this guy. What do I talk to him about? You know what I mean?
It's perfect so far. No, killing it.
Listen. That clip alone, I'm not kidding with you. That clip alone, matter of fact, someone even commented on it and was like, yo, making my like yearly round to come back to this clip and watch it. Because it is just so good. And to think that you're doing it on literally a standard tech deck.
Yep. Standard tech deck, no mods.
That is insane. Listen, so let's just talk about this. Obviously, we're jumping around a little bit, but Mike references, so years later, or a little bit years later, when you're fingerboarding, you jump on a team, Vegas Fingerboards, obviously not like a huge brand that people would know now, but when you jumped on and you put out that video part, I think you put out like 2 or 3 with Vegas, right?
That's correct, yeah.
But the one that people mention the most is going to be Formacin. That's the one, which is like 4 or 5, almost 5 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like a 5-minute long part, 2 songs.
It's insane.
Suffragette City by David Bowie is the first track. Second track is Pink Floyd. God, what's the name of that song? I can't believe I forgot it.
No, not a Pink Floyd.
It has the Dirty Woman in it, so
Dude.
Yeah, I was going to use Freebird, but for the whole part, because that's a long enough song, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, the solo alone is
Fly like a Freebird.
Yeah, man.
But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because Suffragette City is such a great track, and then right into the good Pink Floyd song from the Wall soundtrack. Yeah.
I love it. Listen, talk to me a little bit about that part, though, because Mike described it the best. When I was talking to Mike, even off cam, he was like, when I let him know that you were going to be on the pod, he was like, you have to ask him about that part. He's like, and this is a huge, even coming from Mike. Mike was like, it's ahead of its time. Yeah. And it really is. If you go back and watch that part, like you were doing tricks. And again, some of them on a damn tech deck, you know what I mean? Back in the day. And it's like, what was that process like filming? Obviously, I think that it was probably filmed over the course of a period of time.
Absolutely.
But like, what was that process like? Do you think about your tricks ahead of time? Do you just kind of film, get a make, and then, all right, clip it? Or what was that process like?
So most of the tricks were not pre-planned.
Okay.
Usually, you start to feel out. I knew I wanted to do like a nollie heel frontside nose slide. That would always something I wanted to do.
Insane.
Or switch heel 5-0.
Yeah.
Those type of tricks I knew I had to get them for the video. But the rest of them were kind of like I was just feeling like, oh, I'm going to see what happens. And you just start fingerboarding a little bit. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to turn the camera on,
Okay. And
that part, I don't remember how long it was filmed over. There's some clips that are older in there. But most of the clips were filmed, I think, in the summer, because I was wearing my lifeguard gear and was shirtless. So
I was about to say we're shirtless. I was a lifeguard. With the shade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. The lifeguard. I should be able to tell because you were wearing some shades at one point.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, definitely either like a fan of like Miami Vice or
I am a fan.
There you go. Or a lifeguard. There you go. Dude, and talk to me about like picking the music and everything, because I feel like that, and because when Mike talks about it on his pod, admittedly at that time, it's like I feel like I've seen clips of it, but never sat down and like watched the full 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But when you sit down and you watch the entire thing, it's crazy that if you put that out today, it would still be considered like a super fire part. Like it holds up. The tricks hold up. The music holds up. Everything about it is just, yeah, it's ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think it's still a really good part if it was released today. I was really into rock and roll music during that time period, so I wanted the part to feel that way. That's kind of why I was like shirtless and had the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And it fit the vibe of the team. And the tricks, back then I was really focused more on realism, which is funny because now I'm doing stuff with my hand upside down and just, doing whatever I can that pushes what I think I could accomplish. And whatever fingerboarding can do, I'm going to try to do it. Yeah. I don't care about the realism as much anymore. But back then I was all about realism. And if you look at the tricks, I try to keep the tricks low and tight. Did a lot of nollie and switch tricks. Yeah. And, back then the switch and nollie heel were considered really hard. I was able to do them for a while, but never really super consistent until that time period. Especially on a tech deck, 25 millimeter wide board, and the way you had to do the flips, you couldn't get a huge height on them. So you really had to. Yeah,
some of the stuff you do in that video, like legitimately, how? You know what I mean? It's just like how, when you're watching that video, it's like, how is this guy doing that?
Yeah, I think I had 2 clips to me that still I love to this day. And one of them is I'm wearing this Mario shirt, I think. Super Mario. Shout out, Super Mario Brothers. And sometimes he hangs out with the Birdo guy. Super Mario 2, I think.
There you go.
And then I do a switch flip. I think it's a backside nose grind revert, but all in one super fast, smooth motion. That's a trick. I'm like, okay, I did it so good. Yeah. I'm still hyped about that clip today. It's one of my favorites ever done. And then another one, I do this switch ollie, and I grab the board with this finger, and I do a board varial. And I'd never seen anybody do it. And it's kind of like the Denny Politan's a trick that kind of came out of that. And Denny saw me do those type of tricks, and then he kind of took over the impossible board varial.
Grabbing the board and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he started doing that from me doing a couple tricks like that in the past. And those are the tricks that I was like really hyped on. And then there's one line where I do like a bunch of like flip tricks down this gap. And it's like, I think it's a nollie heel flip, nollie frontside heel flip on a tack deck, nollie hard flip. Well, I think the hard flip's separate. A regular hard flip.
Yeah.
I just do so many crazy tricks. Nollie frontside flip.
I wonder have you ever counted how many clips you have in that part?
No.
Dude, we got to do that.
I have all the originals though. All the original clips I still have.
That's insane.
And more.
We got to have someone do that. I know somebody listening will go and do that right now.
Well, I could do it.
Yeah, you got to do it. You know what? I would love to see a full-length video on you just talking about that part and that time frame, the music choice.
That'd be fun.
Dude, we're overdue for a long-form Chris Daniels video.
It's been a bit.
It's been a minute. And listen, I'll admit, even myself, I was very like hard set on like, I'm not really a long-form guy. But once I started like watching your stuff and Christian stuff about the old Call A videos and at Disneyland and stuff like that, that's what really kind of drove me to like, okay, like let me start vlogging or whatever. And that's what kind of like spawned the vlog era. Because at first it was just short form stuff for me. And then it was like watching all the long form stuff. I'm like, bro, like I want to do that.
Yeah, it's the funny thing how I got into long form content, because I would just film like parts, and that's really it. I did some like trick tip videos for people in the past to help out, like, oh, here's how you do tricks, here's how you film a fingerboard part, and this was like 2013 or before.
Yeah,
a lot of it was in part with my blog as a tutorial.
Yeah,
but I always wanted to make this history video, like a fingerboarding or website originally was way back, like. FB Weekly was going to be a history documentary thing. And then someone else came out with this fingerboard archive website, and it disappeared after like 3 months. It was really good. So I thought about it, but never did it. And finally, after like things like FFI kind of, we don't have any of that information anymore. I'm like, damn, that's such a loss. I fucked up. I should have done it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to make a video. Someone needs to do this.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of knowledge. And I'll do a lot of research. I know where to look.
Yeah.
And so I started researching and coming up with what I could to do that. And that's how I got in long form content. Well, actually for fingerboarding, because I have a hidden channel that's for another one of my hobbies that's long form.
Damn. We're not bringing that out today? We don't want to put the username out?
No.
Damn, you just got to find it.
I'm embarrassed. It's bird watching.
Is it really bird watching?
Yeah, I'm really into bird watching.
Listen, are you familiar with a shoe bill?
Yes.
Dude, man.
Shoe bills.
We can talk about it now because it's
Yeah,
daylight
man.
outside. But man, the shoe bills are crazy. We were talking about that with Jason. It was like 3 a.m. on his pod. Not a good night.
Well,
Not a good night, man.
they're kind of scary.
What do you mean kind of scary?
They're a little
dude?
bit scary. Yeah.
They're really scary. The sound they make?
yeah.
Oh, dude. Just got the chills talking about the sound they make.
Sorry.
Bro. No, man. Let's change. All right, change the subject. Yeah.
What's your favorite bird though? Like, how about a good bird?
A good bird. You know what? I'm not really a bird guy.
Okay, that's okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
But listen. If we're talking birds, I'm going to say I feel like an underrated bird is probably a pigeon.
A pigeon.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you think about them, they're super resilient,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
People train. Oh, you know what? I
They
take
can
that
live
back.
anywhere.
Listen, I take that back. They come in second. I'm going to say crows.
Crows are awesome.
I'm going to say crows only
Corvids.
because my wife's dad actually had a pet crow. It was a wild crow, and
Oh,
I
dude.
never met him. I never met the crow, but my wife tells me stories that when she was a kid, that he would like do a certain whistle or something outside, and a wild crow would fly out from the damn trees and would land next to him, and he would feed it, he would pet it, he would teach it tricks and stuff like that. And bro, I'm gonna go with the crow.
Dude, crows are so smart, and yeah, they will let you pet them often.
Yeah.
I think my favorite bird, it's called the dick chisel. It's like a
Wait. Sorry?
dick. I don't know how to say it. Dick chisel.
No,
you can
I
look
mean,
it up. Look it up.
No. It sounds like you're referencing genitals.
It does sound like that, but
So
I'm
we'll-
not. I promise
okay.
you, it's an actual bird.
Okay.
It's a migratory bird that will come up to like the Midwest,
Okay.
and it's the breeding seasons during that time when they're up in
Okay.
North America,
Okay.
and then they fly south though afterwards. They migrate down to like Venezuela and Colombia. I'd flip the order personally, but
Yeah.
You know.
There you go. Are ducks considered birds?
yeah,
Okay.
ducks are cool. I
Maybe
love
ducks. Maybe ducks would be top 3 for me.
Yeah,
Not the mean ones though. Who are the mean ones? Mean are like gooses.
the
right?
geese, the Canadian geese. Yeah,
Yeah.
They can be mean.
I like
Very mean.
ducks. I'll
They-
take a duck.
A goose tastes pretty good too.
I don't know if I ever had goose.
Yeah, and in like Europe, it's like the Christmas dish.
A
often.
Christmas dish.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. Talk to me about your first pro fingerboard, right? Because obviously everyone has that moment of like getting your name on a product, right? And it's just like the most insane. I love it. I love the
I lean back in my head.
dude. I almost headbutted Mike.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Dude, yeah, sorry, Jesus, Mike. Talk to me about your first pro fingerboard because again,
Yeah.
obviously that's a huge moment for anyone, and I think that a lot more in the last couple of years we've seen that more and more. You know, people going pro and getting their name on wheels and boards and stuff. What was that like for you at that time? You know, obviously fingerboarding is still growing and it's still kind of doing its thing, but talk to me a little bit about that. About getting your name on a board.
Oh, I was super hyped. It's my first and only pro anything.
Really?
I've never had a pro model wheel,
Come
never
on,
had
Mike.
pro model trucks, never had pro model decks.
Well, you're on blistered now,
I am on blistered and I'm on flat face. I'm on both.
Mike.
He'd do it. I'm sure.
talking. Yeah, I'm talking directly to you right now. I'm looking at the camera, Mike.
He'd do it.
Come on, we need some D wheels.
I think it'd be cool, but you know, I'm not pressed about it at all.
We have
a board would be
we have the
sick.
J wheels.
The
Now
J
we need the
wheels.
D wheels.
The D wheels.
The D wheels is crazy. The CD wheels.
So the funny thing is, I joked about, and not even really a joke. I talked about crushing up some CDs and putting them into a blistered wheel and call them the CDs,
That'd be crazy.
CD fragment wheels. You know.
That would
And
actually
Mike was
be kinda-
open to it, and I just have to send him a crushed up package of CDs.
Dude, man.
But I haven't done it. You know, I think my first pro deck though was with Vegas fingerboards.
yeah.
And it had Robert Plant. You know, I was really big into Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
A Led Zeppelin themed graphic that I think
Do you still-
Raymond
do you still have one?
designed. No, Mike has it.
Damn.
Mike has the only one. I think he has both of my Vegases that I ever had.
That's
I only
crazy.
had two. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think he has both. One's on the museum for
crazy.
sure. I seen it there. That's the one I'm talking about with my pro model.
Yeah.
So the only one, I don't know how many were made, if any, besides the one were for me. But I was super hyped about it. Definitely really cool. It was really hard to read my name because of how
Yeah.
it was printed directly onto veneer. So,
Okay.
you know, they're just doing it with like just like an inkjet printer or something back
insane.
then. It was a different time.
It'd be cool to like redo that graphic, like on a flat face board.
You probably could. I'm just trying to think. It was Robert Plant silhouette of him, and then like the Led Zeppelin, those like logos that they have on some of their albums, and then it said Chris Daniels, Vegas Fingerboards.
I love that.
Yeah,
Listen, obviously we're jumping around a little bit, but I want to talk to you about your fingerboard style
sure.
because we talked about it at over breakfast, but there's a clip of you that plays through my mind. This is even before we met or anything. And it's funny because how I kind of came to know about you, because I didn't realize when I first watched your videos, like when I first kind of discovered fingerboarding online, it was the truck video.
Oh yeah,
History of trucks, and that was like my first. I'm like, okay, this is CD player. I remember I was at Clayton's before he moved to the warehouse. He had like an office, and we were talking about something. He pulls up a clip, and he shows me a clip of you fingerboarding upside down, and I think it was like a upside down, like 50-50, this long rail, and then you flip out of it.
Oh yeah, I remember that clip.
And I remember just watching it. We were sitting there watching it, and he said something like, "Oh, Chris Daniels," and I was just like, "Who?" And then he's like, "CD player," and that was I was like, "Oh, they're the same." They kind of tied it together. But so obviously, what I'm talking about here is your style of fingerboarding upside down.
Sure.
Inverted or whichever way people kind of look at it. Did that kind of come about just being so good at fingerboarding that you were just like, what can I do differently? Like, were you kind of bored with like the standard tricks, or how did that come about as far as like the whole style of upside down fingerboarding?
I would definitely say a little bit of boredom with the standard way of doing things, but also like I made a blog post 2009ish. I think it's still up on Blogspot, hidden somewhere, where I talk about like different ways of doing fingerboard tricks, because you do a frontside flip and you get to this position where your elbows out, arms up, and then you can do a trick out from that, right? Mm-hmm. But then people do backside kickflip, and all everybody would do, they'd either do a body varial with their hand, or they do a kick trick.
Kind of, a little revert. Yeah,
and I was like, why don't people try to do tricks out of that? And then actually, I needed before this. Actually, hold up, I missed a part.
Okay.
There's this awesome fingerboarder from Hungary named Alfred Kovac. He goes by Alfie Skate. It was like 2007. He makes this little video, and he has like these Lego ramps that he's doing tricks on. And he does a cab lip slide like this to fakie, where he pops it like there. That's the first time I saw, the only person I saw doing it up to that point. And I was like, okay, that's sick. And then I got into like, well, if he's able to do that and people do tricks other places, I want to be able to do tricks from here, because then like my dream is to do the perfect line where you're doing tricks in all these different arm positions.
Yeah.
And that's like the future of where things should go. It did turn into like an upside down sort of novelty, because it's really difficult to do tricks like with your fingers more vertical.
Yeah. No,
that's the goal.
Insane.
It's the goal. This is a little easier. So like I use that as a way to do it.
So like fully flat.
Yeah, fully flat's when I started. Yeah.
That's insane.
And I started doing tricks like that end of 2009, 2010. And then I went to Germany with Mike, and we were just really having fun with learning tricks that way. And so I did, if you look at like the Style and Steig number 4 video, it's on Mike's channel, you'll see me do a couple tricks in there like that with flips and to grinds and stuff. And then like Style and Steig 7, which was like the same month we filmed it together in Germany again too. I do I think let me think about it. I do a kick flip, or no, it'd be a heel flip, but upside down kick flip, or a regular heel flip, but your hands like this down this gap, down the G8 part gap. And so like from there I was like, okay, I could really do a lot. You can do a lot of stuff out of here and open up so many possibilities. Because when you've been fingerboarding for a long time, the standard tricks are fun, and you can always you can push those tricks so far, especially like a kickflip. Yeah. At the same time, I always want to push and learn something new that's different, and so it opened up a whole world, and I'm still learning it to this day. Right.
That's insane. I definitely want to continue on that conversation about fingerboard upside down, but one of the questions from the internet, someone asked, what is a standard fingerboard trick that you still kind of struggle with today? Or you still kind of like, it's kind of hit or miss? Almost like Jake's AI tray flip.
Yeah, I think for standard, I'm not the best at like the switch inward heels or nollie inward heels. I can do them. Okay. But I think mine look terrible. Okay. That would be one of the tricks. And I'm not the best at like switch or nollie laser heels. I can do them too. Definitely can do them, but it's not like I can pop them out like Hawaii FB or,
dude, that guy is...
He has like beautiful ones.
Beautiful.
Or like green tea.
Oh, as well.
He's really good. A lot of people are really good.
He got Fingerboard of the Year, right?
Yeah, he got
green
it.
Tea?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well deserved.
So I can do them. And like in games of skate, I've landed them in games of skate against in competitions. But like that's something I'm just like, I don't think mine look good. I'm not comfortable as much as them.
Yeah.
Even though I can do switch backside or nollie frontside heels, perfect. Like, really good. So that's probably the trick I'd say of standard. There's still hard tricks for many people, but I'm not as good at them.
Okay. Going back to fingerboarding upside down.
Yeah.
You mentioned like wanting to do the perfect line and stuff like that. And I think we, again, talked about this over breakfast, but I think it's crazy to think that, and again, jumping ahead here, but so you're going to Fast Fingers next month, right? You won the competition where it's you and a couple people going to Fast Fingers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I think like that, if you can pull that in a run, I think it's not only going to score high, but if you can keep the flow going. Because so in 2004 or 2005, maybe 4, when they did it in person last, I was there. I was helping out with the judging and stuff like that. A lot of people kind of like will trick, pick up their board, kind of, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to do the line. But could Chris Daniels take it in 2026?
I don't think I can win, but I am going to put on a show. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm going to do upside down stuff too, and O-line. Like, those tricks 100% is going to happen.
Okay.
Now, will I advance? I have no clue. And I definitely don't see myself necessarily winning. I shouldn't say that. But realistically, there's some like
bring it home for the USA. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, I think the person for USA, we have a couple rippers coming. Shout out to Levine Cunningham for flying the winners of USA FBL out there and taking care of them. It's so crazy that he's doing that.
He's flying
me, Tanner Hench, and Mitch Rushing.
Yeah, Mitch, dude.
Yeah. And Tanner's really good, really good. And then Mitch is insane too.
Insane. I feel like we got some contenders for the USA this year.
I think they're going to perform really well.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do the worst.
Come on. Are you, with something coming up like that? Because, so I think that you've talked about like obviously fingerboarding is about having fun, but you're definitely open to like competitive fingerboarding.
Oh, I love competitive fingerboarding.
Right. So having said that, how much are you working towards that right now? Like, are you practicing daily? Are you practicing a lot? Because you know what's funny is like I after being there, I'm like, okay, if you just like every single day practice lines right on a park, like you could realistically get like pretty far, I think.
Oh, 100%. Kind of like skateboarding, right? How it's progressed.
Yes.
Right. You have a training. You actually train and practice. Yeah, you could do really well.
How much training are you doing right now? Honestly. Don't tell me that.
Unfortunately, I've been so busy with like real life, and it's kind of a bummer that it's like timing wise it works out that way. But leading up to USAFBL, I did fingerboard quite a bit leading up for a long period. Then I had a gap of where I wasn't able to, and then like 2 weeks before I started fingerboarding a lot again. It doesn't take too much practice to get up to a point where I'm comfortable and can do some cool tricks. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to start fingerboarding more. It's coming up in like 2.5 weeks, 20 days until I check into my flight.
Damn.
So
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, talking about you fingerboarding upside down, obviously that speaks to your style. Do you think in fingerboarding, your personal opinion, what do you think matters more, style or the difficulty of tricks?
It's a good question. I think to me personally, both. Ideally.
Good answer.
If you can.
Okay.
But it's whatever the person has more enjoyment for them.
Okay.
Me personally, I've been both ends of the spectrum. There was a time where all I cared about was having the best style. I tried to win like FFI best style. I got like 3rd place for the voting, which was pretty damn good back then.
Pretty damn good and then for an admin.
I think it was just a moderator back then.
Okay.
That time.
Okay.
And then
it wasn't fixed.
Wasn't I mean
could have fixed it. Yeah.
Could easily be fixed. I had a good style back then.
Yeah. Just send someone a
really
money
good
order
style
for $20.
back then. Now less so.
There you go.
And then I won like most innovative a couple years later because I shifted how I thought about fingerboarding. I'm like, there is something to be said about doing a beautiful, perfect trick, like that you think that the best you can possibly do it in the most stylish way. And often I think people have this perception that style has to be perfect, like this beautiful thing. Style could also be like just barely holding on to a trick, like in skateboarding, right? Some of the most 100%. Stylish skateboarders like barely able to do something.
Yeah.
So it's just having that unique stamp that's yours is awesome. And there's so many fingerboarders that have the most insane styles out there, and I could go on and name them all, like Sam Maroney, Nick Herzog always had a fantastic style. Martin Winkler, Nico Frank, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Super stylish. Let me ask, and kind of tying it back into skateboarding and kind of getting your opinion on this. But if someone, didn't necessarily grow up skateboarding, do you think that they can fully like understand, love, and appreciate fingerboarding?
Oh, 100%.
Or is there like a disconnect, you think?
I think initially it's a little harder to get up to speed, but after a certain point, I've seen so many people that often what happens is either they had an affinity for skateboarding, they just never got into it, or they get into fingerboarding as its own thing, and then they grow to enjoy skateboarding too, maybe not actually skating.
Right.
I don't think you need to be a skateboarder to be a really good fingerboarder at all. Does it help? Sure. But you could be a fan of the game and be the best at a different game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about like your content creation, right?
Sure.
Because a lot of people, when they first, again, we kind of talk about different eras of Chris Daniel. I feel like you've been in fingerboarding long enough to where you've had like, you know what I mean? Like the fingerboarder era, respectively, content creator era, you know what I mean? And then it's, so when it comes to content creation, everyone has that moment where you kind of, okay, this is going to be my lane, if you will. You obviously went the route of long form stuff, very informative stuff. Talk to me a little bit about that. For those who don't know, your channel is a wealth of knowledge and fingerboard history. Like it's insane, some of the stuff you've put out. Talk to me a little bit about that. Just the process of putting one of those videos together, the decision to kind of make those videos. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start with the decision. I think I kind of touched on it before, but I'll get more in depth. Was like, I realized that there wasn't really any good documentation of history, and like you could find stuff, but you had to know where to look. And that there was a huge opportunity to have like a little mini documentary of talking about the hobby and sharing the past of our hobby and highlighting those individuals and brands and everything that comes around the hobby that made such an impact on what we had today, that were those building blocks to create it. And there wasn't really anything at all. And I was like, well, someone should do it. And then finally I was like, okay, maybe I should do it, you know?
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, I know where to look. I know the websites. I know I have Wayback Machine, which if you guys don't know, that's Internet Archive. It's like it's archive.org, has a bunch of great resources there, magazines, books, so on.
What is that? It's like snapshots of like the past internet?
Exactly. So they had crawlers that would scan a website, HTML, save all these different things from imagery, videos sometimes if it's later on, and the actual HTML page itself, and it would save it. And just as a way to thank God, there's companies and organizations doing that back then, or else we lose everything. The biggest one's archive.org. And so I would use that to go to the websites that I would remember. And then I would go on the links of those to see the websites. Oh, shoot, I remember this website. Oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember this person. And so I was able to build my video that way. And so like I had enough memory here. Yeah. And I have friends that were from that back then too that I can reach out to for certain things. Like, hey, if I need to help on something, they'll help me out remember stuff the right way. Right. You could find the information back then. And so I wanted to make sure like those stories are told, those people are recognized, and those companies and fingerboarders are shared with everybody today. And so that's how it started. And then in terms of how I make the video, usually I have like, I'll make a little mini script, I guess, like more of an outline guide. Okay. Yeah. And then I would like research a lot and making sure, and usually with the way my brain works, I have to get something done either within a day or two or it doesn't get done. So I hammer those things out really quickly. Like I'll have it in my brain thinking about what I can do maybe. And then one day I'll just write it all down. I'm like, okay, well, I might as well research. Then I research. I'm like, well, I might as well write a script. And the next thing you know, 4 hours later, done. Yeah. Toss the camera on record, and then I find the videos and pictures and stuff too to put on.
How long would you say it takes to put together? Like for instance, the truck video that I'm referencing.
Yeah.
How long to gather all the research, put it together, start to finish editing? How long would you say? How many hours would you say?
Probably in terms of like dedicated nonstop time, maybe like 10 hours. Damn. 10 hours maybe. But like in terms of editing, itself would take about 3 hours of that. To gather the imagery, pacing. I usually do stuff. I record it once, like voiceover, and if I mess up, I just keep talking. Yeah. And you just clip it.
Over the years, I've gotten pretty comfortable with just like letting it flow. I used to be like very script heavy.
Oh yeah.
And then because it's like I gotta know what I'm gonna say, and now I kind of just, hit record and just whatever.
Yeah, and like the script, I shouldn't call it a script because it's like a flow,
guide, yeah.
a guide. And I
Same
want to
thing.
touch on it.
Almost like with what I do here on my computer. It's like a roadmap. You know what I mean? It's like I always tell people, like, it's not question per question. It's like a roadmap where it's like, you know, if we get too far off topic, it's like, boom, you know, it's going to get us from the start to the finish.
Fold it back in. That's the way to do it. Natural and flow. And that's how I try to do my videos usually, with like making sure I touch upon those things that I think are most important to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is you were talking, I forget if it was the Mike pod or the USFBL pod, but you were talking about the pressure that comes along with it, where you kind of feel like at the end of it, you're like, man, like, did I get that right? You know, or did I add enough? And then you kind of realize at the end, like, you didn't mention this or mention that. Let me ask you, so on top of that, what is, like, in your own words, why is it so important to you to document fingerboarding in that way?
Yeah, I think there's people that are currently fingerboarders right now that made a big impact on people and to our hobby. And people don't even know about that, what they've done, you know? And so I wanted to at least get some of those people. There's people that don't fingerboard anymore that have made a big impact. And it's a fun thing to listen to and to watch, to learn. Two, it just gives recognition to those people. And it's important to highlight the good things. It's so easy to get into the bad things in anything, right? In news, whatever. Fingerboarding, focus on the drama or the bad things someone supposedly done. You know, I wanted to change this, shift it to be like, well, let's recognize the people that did good things for us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. When it comes to future content, are there any like lost brands or lost media or like forgotten stories or people that you feel like you should be highlighting that you can see yourself doing like a video on?
Oh man, I have like 8 unfinished scripts worth of content.
Damn, man.
That I've been like not sitting on, and like I'm redoing the history of fingerboarding, like a way bigger video that's going to be more like an hour long.
Damn.
I have the script written up, and it goes way deeper, and also some things that I might have left out that I forgot about at the time that should have been highlighted. I have them in there.
Right.
I've learned a lot more in my research too, like about the early pre-internet fingerboarding, you know, or early internet fingerboarding hobby before even tech deck. I know a lot more about that period now too. So I want to remake that and highlight. That's the big one that I'm working on. It's taking way longer than I thought. Yeah. One of these days I'm just going to have to like press record and
just do it,
full
man.
Send it, you know.
We're overdue for a new Chris Daniels video.
Yeah, I know. And
we're overdue.
It needs to happen. I'm thinking maybe after things wind down after Fast Fingers, and I have some time with work slowing down, hopefully a little bit. It's been crazy, but if it kind of like tapers a little bit so it doesn't impact the free time as much, then we can look into that and release some videos, because I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and getting that itch again. Have you ever dealt with like creator burnout?
Oh yeah.
How do you kind of combat that?
I just stop. And then
I love it.
Yeah, I just stop, and then I know I'll come back. It's like not I'm quitting. Fingerboarding is the same way. Like sometimes you just you're too busy with life, or you're just not feeling it. It's okay to take a step back and to take it easy and get that. The passion will come back. Like I always know. There's been times I've been gone from fingerboarding for like a year and a half. Not gone from fingerboarding, but from the online scene and documenting 100%. And not traveling events for, you know. I think my biggest gap was probably 2014 to 2016. I think I totally disappeared.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the questions from the internet is like, you've been doing this for so long, and I think they're making reference to fingerboarding in general. Like, how do you just keep it fresh? You know what I mean? Because with anything, I mean, you know, with time, and I think you speak to it well. You know, even in the Mike pod, how you mentioned like fingerboarding is something that you can kind of always come back to. You know what I mean? The community, the hobby. And it's always kind of there for you.
It is, and that's the best part. Like, you know, I came back in 2016, and then I went to a rendezvous in 2017, and people were running up to me and saying hi, all my old friends and stuff, and people that I knew. It was way different. It's funny how things change, you know, over a few years, but it was like you could always come back to it, and that's how I would say. If you do get a little bit of burnout, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I mean, there's ways to freshen up fingerboarding, like there's ways to freshen up other things in life.
Hey man, there you go. Fingerboard upside down.
Fingerboard upside down. That's a good way to do it.
There you go, man.
Yeah,
I love it. I want to transition to talk about FB Weekly. I know you mentioned it a little bit early, but or earlier. But I want to talk about that because I think that the stories behind that and how you gathered up, writers from all over the world and they were all contributing to this vlog or blog, excuse me. Talk to me a little about that, just like the thought process to get it started, the origin story behind FB Weekly.
Sure. It's, I think, let me think about it really quick. I don't remember if it was, I think it was just before my first rendezvous, which was Rendezvous 5. I was like,
that's right.
I would love to do something, that shares the world of fingerboarding with everybody else online. And I know I could do it because I build websites and stuff, and I'm on FFI all the time because I'm the admin. I'm on, I wanted to help out and do something. I had a friend who was a fingerboarder who's also on flat base. His name is Tim Alexiel. And we talked about it, and he's like, yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do. So he would focus more on like reviews and products and some news there. I would do other news like contest news, team news, and stuff like that. And eventually I was like, well, this is a lot to do on just 2 people. So I asked a few more people, like Tim Hurley was on there. I think Jay became a part of it, Linehan. And then I was able to pull in some of my friends from FFI, like Andre Corral from Portugal. I got Tomas Hansen from Germany.
Bubble Flip.
Yeah, Bubble Flip from China. Shout out to he's the man. He's UK also. Had like Blossom, I think was one of the contributors too, from UK. We had Indonesia, Anga Panda, just people all over the place. Like different countries who had a fingerboarder from Russia that would do the Russian fingerboard scene too, and we get all this news from all over the place. Eventually, 20 people contributing, post almost every day. And I think at our peak. Man, the peak year, I had 1.5 million visits on that site. No way. It was a ton. Yeah.
I mean, even for that time, though.
It was
because fingerboarding is arguably the biggest it's been.
Yes.
At least from what in the past 5 years that I've been a part of it, I feel like it's only gotten bigger every year.
Yeah.
So to hear that that many people on the site at that time.
Hundreds of thousands of visits. And obviously a lot of repeat traffic. So,
right.
I think most of it was repeat traffic. But, let's say... I guess I could pull the old analytics account and look to see, but it was good.
Where do you think that comes from, right? Because in the sense that with fingerboarding, when you join the community, we all want to be a part of it in some way. We all want to post clips. We all want to have an Instagram. We all want to share our clips and stuff with our friends.
Yeah.
But there's people that decide, like, I want to do more. Like even like myself, where it was, you're not just participating in the hobby, but like you do a podcast or you make content, or what do you think that comes from for you? To want to do FB Weekly, to want to do, you know what I mean? Put yourself out there, make content. Where does that come from?
That's a good question. I think there's multiple answers here because it's multi-layered.
Okay.
One, I love this hobby and I love seeing other people love the hobby too. And you go to a fingerboard event in person, you just see the joy that people have being there, and they feel like they're part of they belong somewhere. And I want to contribute to that. And so that's why FB Weekly came about. That's why I release my content the way I do. It's also fun to like exercise your own creativity. So this is more selfish, right? Like I love video editing. I love web development as a hobby. Like to me, it's an opportunity to try out new techniques and explore the creativity, learn how to tell a story in a good way. And to get better and better at it, because I can get way better at doing that, and that's the fun part. Just like fingerboarding, you can always get better.
Yeah.
And so those are that's what I would say. It's just and giving people something they enjoy is always good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like fingerboarding today is missing a centralized media platform where we can essentially gather?
Yep.
Obviously, there's podcasts going around. There's magazines now, but in your words, do you think that's missing? And if so, what would you like to kind of see, pop up or just kind of happen with kind of centralizing all that information?
Yeah, and that's a great question, and I definitely think it's missing a central hub of like information, but because everything's kind of decentralized now. And it's the best it's ever been. The hobby wise, like you have all this resources nowadays and all these different communities you can be a part of, whether it's on the Facebook side, Instagram, you can have communities through groups. You have Discord, which kind of serves as in a way like a forum, but it's different from when the old days were the main place you went to was the forums, and then there was fingerboard websites communities based off of the forum, like sites outside of it.
Yeah.
It felt more close knit in many ways. Obviously, it's way better now in terms of there's so many in-person events everywhere. Every place seems to have their own in-person community. It's better now. But having a central hub, so to say, would be amazing to bring it even more so and to highlight all these different communities together. I tried bringing back not FB Weekly, sorry, FFI.
Yeah.
For a very brief period, then it was like, oh shit, like I don't have the bandwidth to do this anymore.
It's tough.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. But something like that would be cool, or a big, huge website. But do people even use websites anymore? Not
right.
Less so.
Yeah. Not like how they did back.
Not
now
like
there's, you know what I mean. There's so many apps, and you know what I mean.
Apps the big thing. Like people use their phones way more than they use a desktop computer. So naturally, it's going to be app centric. So you have to make an app then. But why would anybody want to download your app when they could use Meta or?
Sorry.
All good.
Sorry. I guess do not disturb doesn't work with alarms.
Yeah, someone was trying to call. Oh yeah, that's right. The alarms bypass it.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, maybe not for pods, but
what's the alarm for?
To pick up my kids at 12:30.
What time's it right now?
11:30. We're cruising.
Oh, okay, so we're good.
Oh, we're cruising.
Okay, perfect.
We're cruising. I already told them. I said, look, I'm interviewing Chris Daniels, so if I'm not there, walk.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a 10-year-old was walking down the street? Why? It's like, it's Chris Daniels.
Hopefully it's not as, what's the saying? As far as the crow flies?
There you go. Shout out crows.
Shout out crows, shout out birds.
Not shoe bills, though.
Some people like shoe bills.
Nah, man.
Not.
Nobody likes shoe bills.
Yeah, they're not the most aesthetically pleasing bird, and probably not one you want to pet.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Are you
Bite
kidding
your
me?
hand off?
I'm telling you,
Some people
bro.
like getting bit.
Nah, man. Listen, shoe bills, Bigfoot, It the Clown.
Bigfoot. Oh, It the Clown?
Are my no, but not even
Pennywise.
not new Pennywise.
Old Pennywise.
I can't help but like when I see new Pennywise, I see Bill Skarsgård. Like
Yeah,
it's
he's
you know what I mean?
amazing actor,
No,
the whole
he's
family.
amazing. But I just see Bill Skarsgård. But
He's not Tim Curry.
Oh, I was just thinking about his name.
He's not Tim Curry.
Bro, the shower scene.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, my wife isn't laugh when she hears this, but when we started dating and we started like living together and stuff like that, she would always make fun of me because I would buy like no tear shampoo because I could not close my eyes in the shower, dude.
Oh man,
that dude. I can't believe I said that on the pod.
It's scary.
Coming through the damn. Ooh, man. You know what?
We all float down here.
Yeah. Come on, Georgie. Oh, you know who does a good Georgie is Jake.
Jake does a good one?
Georgie. Yeah.
Oh, man, that movie is so good.
Dude, wait
Want a balloon?
in the locker room where like the drain opens up. I don't even know what I'm talking. Bro, look at
Goosebumps.
Look at dude. I'm telling you, bro.
Do you think Pennywise? I mean, I know what he was, but do you think he's a relative of some sort of bird because he floats, or is he a fish?
Probably a shoebill.
Shoebill.
He's definitely a shoebill.
Shoebill.
Yeah, mixed with catfish.
Yeah.
Listen, changing gears now, obviously, and listen, and the way I kind of look at this podcast is, so you've been on the USA FBL podcast, and it's like an hour and a half of like a super great pod. You've been on the Mike's pod 2 hours. Yeah. So so if we're flying through anything, or if anyone's listening here, you can always reference those podcasts in the sense that I feel like there's incredible wealth of knowledge of Chris Daniels in those pods. But now I want to transition to talking about Black River.
Sure.
Right? Because I feel like you have such a history with Black River.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know what's so funny is for the longest, I kind of changed it around now, but when I first started decorating my garage, for the longest time, I had your, the poster where you were wearing the blue, I think it was a blue shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what's so funny is I didn't even realize that it was, I just had a bunch of them up. And then one day, like I was in here and like Jake was in here and like we were talking about it. And he's like, oh, Chris Daniels. I'm like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
There's been a few times where I'm like, oh, Chris Daniels. Like even when I went to Germany and I visited the ASI store or the Aussie Berlin store, there's like a back room and there's pictures all over the wall and you have a picture in there.
I'm surprised it's still up.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Bro.
Hopefully it's still up there when I go there. It'd be cool to see.
Dude, that would be super sick. So listen, give me a high overview of your experience with Black River. I believe the first time you met them was when they came out for Rendezvous 6.
That's correct.
But prior to that, like, what's your history with Black River? Because obviously you've been writing for Black River forever.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised you don't have a pro board.
Hey,
Martin, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But go ahead, give me the overview.
Yeah. So I first saw Black River. It would have been around 2000.
Okay.
On the internet, obviously, and there was some. It was very, as I mentioned, I would search all the time on the internet for fingerboard stuff, and I found like I think it was skateboarding.ch. It was like a Swiss skateboarding site, but they had a fingerboard kind of section on there that had all the contest news. But you could see like this advertisement of I think it was Prager was the skateboarder with Ernie, and they have like them doing a trick off of this ramp, a Black River kicker ramp, and I think they had the fingerboard park there too, like one of the big minis or something, or half pipe.
Okay.
And that's the first time I saw it, and so I clicked on the website. I'm like, okay, this stuff looks crazy. Like they're making stuff out of wood because there was wood fingerboard stuff like Buckle Down and some other way before that, actually before Tech Deck. There was the Hawkster ramp that Tony Hawk released in the 80s, and same with Town and Country had a video game with the little monkey on it. But the Town and Country Surf Company also had a half pipe. I have it actually. Yeah. I've never put together because there's rat shit all over it. But
well, that's one way to preserve it.
Yeah, it's in its box still. But I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is so professional. And they had like the picnic table, they had a rail, they had like the half pipe, their curb cut and stuff. And I was like, okay, this is way good. And so I'd follow it. And then I saw how the German scene was doing so much in-person stuff, like events and contests. And then meanwhile, in the English-speaking community, all our stuff was online. We do our like contests online, or like we'd have rankings and stuff online, nothing in person. So over there, they actually had a legitimate hobby, like a legitimate almost, it was definitely pro level at that point.
Oh, 100%.
At the same time, it was like, well, man, I'm really good. I think I could go over there and win a competition. Never had a shot.
That's the Chris Daniels we need to go next month.
That guy was better than me.
No, man, come on, bro. We got to relive the glory days. We need Dirty D in June.
Well, there better not be a hole around there.
That's crazy. That's insane. All right, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Okay, so like Black River, so like you obviously look up to him, and then I don't know, there was a time period, maybe 2004 or so, 2003, ramps started coming to USA. People started to get them, and a few folks, different people, tried to like distribute for them. Like they'd buy a bunch and they'd sell them, or they'd do a bulk order for a bunch of people, get the shipment over, and then they'd send them out. There's a few scams that happened like that too.
Damn.
Famous, notorious OG scams, where people would do that, get money and never send. But yeah, so you had that. I never really had a Black River contact with them or Berlin Wood at that point. I think the first time I had Black River stuff was I got second place in the FFI Rail Jam, I think. Yeah. And then I got a Black River Rainbow Rail and 2 Berlin Woods and a couple other, like a box and stuff. And they were so good. I was like, this is epic. And then fast forward a couple months, I go to Rendezvous 5 and then Rendezvous 6 and the team's there. So it's
that was the first time Black River came to the States for Rendezvous.
Yeah, for Rendezvous. Because Ernie himself had been to California a lot separately, and that's how he got into fingerboarding.
Yeah.
But for Rendezvous with 6, it was like Nick Herzog, Elias, Timo Lieben, Martin Winkler, Elias Asmuth, Ernie. I already said Boris Dici, maybe not.
Maybe
Denise,
not.
Choi. Who else? There's a few more people. Emil Ebling from Fingerspeak. There's a lot of people there. And so I got to interact with them. And everyone was so kind and friendly. And we were all staying at Mike's house. So, like, obviously I'm there, they're there, and we're hanging out and just realized they're really good people. Everyone on the team, plus Ernie and Denise. And it was like this. Like, we got along really well. And then they asked me at the end of the trip, Chris, you want to be on Black River? And the team was like, hey, Chris, you want to be on Berlin Wood? I'm like, oh my God.
No way, dude.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then,
that's insane.
Yeah. And then Rendezvous 7, 8, I think they came back with a crew, like Harry came and stuff. So got to know other team members really well. And eventually I went over to Black River for my first trip over there with a friend who fingerboards and his dad. Yeah. And then we came back over there a second time. And both trips, Mike was there separately. We just happened to line up. So I spent a lot of time with them, know them really well. They're fantastic people. I know.
You actually spent like 3 or 4 months in Black River City.
Yeah, so I spent 3, almost 4 months there the second time. Yeah. And Mike was there for a big chunk of it too, for half of that time too with me. And he came back again, I think, as well. It was the best time ever. Damn. And you really, who people are with that amount of time. And
100%.
They're genuine, amazing people that care about growing the hobby. They care about the people that work for them. They care about their town, where they live. Yeah. And it's weird to me to see kind of the narrative now about things. Not that maybe there's some things they're not totally in tune with in terms of the pulse of fingerboarding in the U.S.
Yeah.
But in terms of like seeing some of the slander people say about them and lies, it just, I don't know, man, makes me a little. I wish people could see the real instead of making up shit
100%.
or listening to some rando person that made up some shit about them.
100%.
So you guys that spread fake news, you need to stop. Come on,
cut
use
it
your
out
brain.
now, Chris Daniels said.
Yeah.
No, listen, I was out there so I've had the opportunity to hang out with a bunch of them, a bunch of Black River, people in the crew and stuff like that when they come out. I've also I spent like 11 days there. We stood with Ollie.
Yeah.
And, they gave us a tour and stuff like that. We met Martin, hung out at Martin's house. And I legitimately, they're like the kindest people.
They are.
They're like the kindest, sweetest people. And they like just everything is fingerboarding to them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's incredible.
It's all about growing the hobby.
Yeah.
It's not even just for them. They talk about growing the entire, what we would say in marketing, growing the category. They know that all the brands that are good brands can be successful, and they want to share that's ideal. You grow the hobby, everyone can win. And it's not about the money. Like you need to make a profit to continue to grow the hobby. But I don't know. They're great people. They care. They wouldn't be throwing fast fingers like they've done in the past if they weren't. They wouldn't be shipping out these massive packages to all these events 100%. All over the world with the way shipping costs and tariffs are in the United States. Yeah. They wouldn't be, but they are.
100%.
So I just wish people would realize that are negative about them. You don't have to be a huge fan of the products or them, of the company's vision or brand, but just don't there's a point where it's like, okay, you're kind of going overboard.
100%. I don't think people realize how many events they sponsor in the U.S.
Oh my God, a ton.
Even when I started doing Sunday sessions, which I've been doing it now for like probably a year and a half, almost 2 years. When I reached out and I just kind of gave them like the idea, they were like, count us in 1,000%. Oh, yeah. And since then they've been supporting it ever since. And it's like every time we do an event, it's like it's like, I don't want to get into the whole Sunday sessions thing, but we keep it really low key. So like a lot of like newcomers or first events, stuff like that. And we're able to get Black River stuff, like pro level stuff in the hands of like the local kids. And you know what I mean? And it's like first time experiencing a wooden deck, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the sickest thing.
And it really, it's important. And they've been there the entire time supporting fingerboarders. Yeah. And,
dude, man.
Yeah.
Here we are. Look at us. I'm having one of those moments, Chris.
Us too.
Look at right there, man. I'm having these moments. We're sitting here and I'm just thinking to myself, like, holy crap, we are right here.
We are.
We're locked in. I love it, dude. As far as for like the Black River tour, right? When they came out, so we're talking, was it after Rendezvous 6 that they came out and they were doing the Black River tour? And I think you'd mentioned something about Santa Cruz and distribution and what was going on with there, because before Black River Chicago, there almost was a Black River California.
That is true. And it's a separate tour. So they've done a few U.S. tours.
Right.
I think 3 or 4 at that point when they did the Santa Cruz one.
Yeah.
So how that worked out is I took a trip out to not Chicago, sorry. I took a trip out to Germany the first time I went, and that was with, if you ever heard of BGP, Ben Gordon Pound, he was a flat-faced team member.
That last name is solid.
Yeah.
Mr. Pound?
Mr. Pound.
Damn, man.
Yeah, his dad came with us, and his dad is an incredible person, brilliant, and a great person. So we went out to Black River, and his dad was an investor, and so like he had he was a general partner for like Spy Optics and for Gymboree at one point, and Pier 1 Imports, Cost Plus World Market. So massive companies, and a brilliant guy. He taught at Harvard at one point. You know, that type of guy.
Okay.
But you would never know it if you got to meet. He was really cool, loved music, was a very nice guy, and became a good friend of mine. And so all that to say, we went out to Germany together just to go check out Black River, and Ben's dad was like, I want someone to come with Ben because I want him to know somebody, and I'm happy to bring you along, and don't worry about paying for it. You can come with us.
Holy
and so
crap,
I did that.
Okay.
And then we met, I got to see Ernie again and the Black River crew, and we did some fun days out in Schwarzenbach and Wunsiedel. Need to remember the right pronunciation before I go there. But we had a great time, and after the trip, Ben's dad's name is John. John was like, I think there's this fingerboarding thing is incredible. Like I see the passion from the community. I see how Black River operates. You know, I kind of want to see if they're open to doing something in the United States.
Dude.
At that time. And so like he was looking potentially investing in to bring it over to the US. It didn't happen, obviously. But leading up to it, you know, we had some talks with Black River, and I went over for the 4-month period and Mike was there and stuff to learn, you know, work with the business, help out Ernie on some stuff, do some tours, get to know the brand, also see if we can come up with some sort of arrangement that would work for both. Ended up not working out, but that's okay. Part of it was to scope out to see, well, number one, we're going to open up a U.S. distribution center, which happened. And it was actually in the Midwest in Chicago.
There you go.
And the other thing was we want to potentially do an office of Black River in U.S. and it was Santa Cruz, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
And so to check it out, Chris Heck, who is an amazing former world champion, or not world champion, would be the German champion of fingerboarding in 2003.
There you go.
Boris Dici, D-Rex, and then Andreas Hees, who at one point was like the right-hand guy to Martin and Denise. Basically, like think of Ollie. Too. Really big part of the business too. Brilliant guy, one of my good friends too. They all flew out to Seattle and we did a tour from Seattle down to Santa Cruz, hitting up all these different places along the way. Got to see so many really good fingerboarders with the intention that number one, we go to these fingerboard parks. We host not fingerboard parks, skate parks and skate shops, right? Yeah. Show what fingerboarding is, bring free product for the people that go to them, tell the community that we're going to be at these areas, which a lot of people came out. Yep. And then hook the skate shops and the people up to like evangelize fingerboarding ahead of time. Right. We went to Santa Cruz, checked it out, thought about seeing if it was possibility to do like an office out there. Ended up not working out, obviously, as I mentioned a few times, but it was something that was really being seriously pursued at one point, and I would have been a part of it actually too.
Damn, man. The history right there, man. Let me ask, do you think, I mean, because I know, so I know we got Black River Chicago. Yeah. And then it went away. Yeah. Do you think we could possibly see, obviously I know you're not Black River, so you're just kind of speaking in generality here, but do you think we can see another attempt at a Black River store at some point? And if so, like, what do you think that would look like?
I mean, of course, there's always a possibility. And I think you've seen some of the stuff with Skate Station, right? That they're going to, looks like they're going to distribute. I don't know for sure. Sounds like it. They're alluding to it.
Sounds like it.
So that's pretty exciting.
Have you seen the story post with all the...
Yeah.
I was like, that's a ton. I was like, that's a ton of Black River.
Yeah, shout out to Clark and
Clark, all those guys.
And the guys out, Ethan.
Yep.
Frankie, all those guys are killing it.
Oh, I love Frankie.
Sean, the big boss man for Space Station Gaming and Space Station. So really cool what they're doing.
Let me ask, if you could pick a city or a town to do your own Black River store. Yeah. Where would Chris Daniels put a Black River store right now?
I mean, I'm biased, so obviously where I live. But man, I thought Chicago was a great location for a lot of reasons. Not least would be obviously they have a great fingerboard community that's even gotten bigger and bigger.
The Chicago guys are killing it.
They have a really good scene, and they have killer fingerboarders.
Heck yeah.
You know, I heard a lot of people were like, why would they go there? But you have to think about it this way. Number one, there's a good fingerboard scene. Number two, logistic-wise, you can get to any place in the country from there within 2.5 to 3 hours. Any place. So if you think about shipping-wise, if they were going to do a distribution center, that's almost ideal as that part of the country. Yeah. Because you can get East Coast and West Coast, South, North.
That's true.
And it has a big, huge DHL distribution center, like logistics center there. So direct flights in from Bavaria into there. So you're hopefully minimizing the cost. As we've seen though, the world's crazy right now and shipping's out of control and there's tariffs. So it ended up not working out, but they've come up with a different model, which looks like, I don't know for sure, guys. No one's told me officially, but it looks like it might be Skate Station.
Dude, man, it looks like it based on the story post. I think I saw it last night and I saw all this stuff and I thought, wait a minute, like that's kind of a lot for if if they're just like buying stock to essentially stock it and sell it, that's one thing. But that look like, I mean,
that's my speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll have to revisit this. Or maybe by the time this comes out, because it comes out in a couple of weeks, maybe we'll know. Because they said they were going to post more information about it this weekend.
Exactly.
Because they're hosting the event there this weekend.
Yeah.
Which I wish I was going to. Immediate FOMO for bringing that up.
I was so close to going too. We just pivoted our like road trip back home with my parents up.
Yeah.
It almost went through Utah. The good thing is I gotta be here for this. It might not have happened if it were going to go through Utah.
No, listen, it was going to happen one way or another.
Absolutely,
it was definitely going to happen. Listen, one thing I want to pivot to a little bit, just because with talking about Black River, I know we mentioned earlier, we're talking about obviously the business side of things and money and stuff like that. One thing I thought was interesting with when you're talking with Mike, and you were talking about taking the skills you learned in fingerboarding, whether it's like just business skills or like design skills or anything like that, and applying it to fingerboarding. And you mentioned that you would be interested in doing a video or something like that, or a series on taking like fingerboard skills and applying that to like real life. And I thought that was interesting. And you kind of even made reference to people making money through fingerboarding. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up and have that conversation with you is, in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of people don't like to have the conversation about money in fingerboarding. Like it feels icky, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with content creators. So as someone who makes money online, making fingerboard content, what's your take on the whole making money on fingerboarding? Does it feel like we're taking from the community? You know what I mean? Like you hear those opinions, but what's your take on that?
Well, first, I would say I don't think there's any content creator really in fingerboarding that can live full time from it yet.
100% not.
Not yet.
Contrary to popular belief.
Contrary to popular belief. Number two, the people who are consuming the content get it for free.
Right.
And the people that are paying for it are the advertisers to Google or to Meta, and then they pay the content creator. Right. And I think there's like, obviously you can tell when someone does things just for the money, but those people quickly fall out of doing something when they realize, wait, there's no money really to be made, at least in this point in time, at least not a massive amount,
right,
doing content for fingerboarding. So I think it's a big misconception, and I hope people can realize that the people that are making content are doing it for the community for the most part. I think obviously
clearly we're not
Jake,
getting rich
Christian,
off of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And like, I made money from like YouTube content? Oh yeah, quite a bit. It doesn't even get close to even the amount of money that I've put into the community just for giving shit away and hosting events. Like not even close.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Yeah. It's pretty negligible in terms of like what my career is. Now, going back to the other part of the question is, I want to do tutorials and maybe even highlight people. And I got some people to agree of those people that got into their career or learned career skills that they've leveraged from fingerboarding. So an example of that would be like, there's a famous musician. He also has a video game. His name is Ian O'Brien out of Ireland. And he's also known as Noise Storm.
Damn.
He had a song that went viral called Crab Rave on YouTube. It's super popular. At one point, it was one of the most played videos on YouTube in a year.
Damn.
And he's an amazing music artist and an amazing videographer, and also like he makes video games now.
Yeah.
And he learned a lot of those like skills and through the community, through fingerboarding, meeting people. And so like it's really cool to hear about that. Or you hear about Nate Thompson, who founded FFI. Well, guess what? He's won a bunch of Grammy Awards and Emmy Awards doing filmography, cinematography, journalism, and stuff.
That's crazy.
He films Taylor Swift's music videos even. And
I'm a Swiftie.
Yeah, he did the Netflix for, I can't believe I already forgot. One of the best women in country music. She does the song about your wife, Jolene.
Oh, yeah, Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton, yeah. He just did the Dolly Parton documentary.
Really?
Yeah, so he's like big time. And he's an amazing guy, and he got those filming interests because of...
Yeah. Or Tyler?
Yeah.
Rosenbauer?
Taylor Rosenbauer.
Yeah.
He has an agency, and... he was filming and all that stuff. And actually how he started his agency was he was working for an agency doing filming, and he had a red camera at a bar. Yeah. And guess what? Some guy came up to him and had a conversation oh, why don't you do it? Why don't you work for yourself? And it turned out to be a guy who like worked for a hedge fund or something. I don't know the details, but was telling him like, really, you could do this for yourself and build something.
Be your own boss.
Yeah, and I think it's important for people to see like you can build career skills too. And I know like in business is not looked upon well. That's okay, but to make an income for yourself is okay. Like you should be able to make a living and take care of yourself. You don't need to, I don't know, be ostentatious or something. But isn't it cool that you can learn something in a hobby like this that's so creative and then apply it somewhere else? So like I want to highlight those stories as well as maybe some tutorials about how to video edit or how to set up a film shot, how to do graphic design, and all this stuff relates to fingerboard. How to do a podcast episode would be cool, right?
That would be really
I just
sick.
Stepped away from the mic there for a second.
That's all right.
How to do a podcast episode, and then I leaned away.
I know. But, listen, even if you took all the skills, right, and you kind of found a way to translate that to a resume.
Well, you can. I've listed it before. It's on my resume right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fingerboard extraordinaire.
Yeah. Current co-national champion.
Damn. There you go. God. I love that.
YouTube creator on the rise. That's my highlight.
On the rise.
Yeah. I was that in 2023.
There you go. Oh, I thought you were talking about now.
Oh,
I was like,
I haven't
like,
make content enough to do that.
No, I was about to say. Let me ask, why do you think, in your opinion, fingerboard content creators get such so much slack from the community?
I think people sometimes take things seriously. They don't want their hobby to look like, and this is not pointing to any content in particular, right? But, if it's a silly content, people don't like to be poked fun at, I guess.
Yeah.
That's one reason. Number two, I think there is this sense, and I don't want to say elitism, but it really is elitism within part of the community that they want the hobby to be experienced a certain way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think, they're protective, and I think it comes from a protectiveness of like what's important to them. So I understand why. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I think the content creation, like almost all of it helps the community, if anything.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's some content creation that may have a negative effect, obviously, but for the whole part, most content creators are doing it because they love this hobby, they love the community, they want to interact with other people.
Right.
And to me, it's really important to do that. It's a very important part about the hobby. I want the hobby to grow. I don't want to have it happen like I've seen it over and over again where it dips down. We get into this lull where it feels like it's dying.
Yeah.
I don't want to have that happen. And the only way to do it is to keep growing the hobby, bringing new eyeballs in. And what better way than a content creator that makes it entertaining and fun to bring people into the hobby?
Yeah.
And also to help them learn about the hobby too.
100%. Absolutely. Let me ask you this. And it's something, so obviously I would definitely consider you a content creator or fingerboarding. And it's one thing that I've asked other creators on here before, but would you, in your own words, consider yourself a content creator who fingerboards or a fingerboarder who creates content? And does the difference matter? Or can you be the same, like frontwards and backwards? Like can they both coexist?
I think they can coexist personally. I guess I would say, I'm a fingerboarder content creator, not a content creator that fingerboards, just because I was doing the fingerboarding first. And now, like if I started to get into other content areas and really focused on that, then I may change my tune.
Right.
I have been creating content, not just YouTube videos, but like having the blog back way long ago. So I guess that's almost as big a part of fingerboarding to me, sharing about the hobby, as the actual fingerboarding is. And I probably, when I really get into content creating mode, I do that more than the actual fingerboarding.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So
I feel that though.
Yeah.
I definitely feel it. There's times where I come down here and it's like I'm more focused on creating content, and it's not that I love one more than the other.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoy making the content. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the best part is it doesn't have to be either or. It can be a blend of the two.
100%.
It like marries really well. And that's what I was kind of saying about, wanting to teach people, like learning how to, use all your creativeness in a hobby, and you can do it in so many ways, whether you're a deck maker or a product maker or just a fingerboarder being super creative there, or being really creative doing a podcast or really good videos to share with the community. It's fun, you know?
Who do you enjoy watching when it comes to, I mean, it can be past or present, but when you turn on YouTube, what are you looking for? Shorts, long form, and what creators are you looking for?
So usually long form or medium form. Okay. Not that I don't get a kick out of some of like the reels or shorts that I see, but usually medium to long form. I like day in the life stuff too, like vlogs. You have really good one. I love watching Jake, Christian Collier, obviously. And then Mike videos are always great.
Dude.
Whether I consider
Mike's great.
I don't know if I consider him like a super big content creator, but who's filmed more than him?
Nah, he's like one of the original content creators.
Yeah, and then there's so many great people that film and make content. And what I often do is I look for people. A lot of new guys.
You are really tapped in, because even with me, when I started posting content and I got the notification that you subbed, it's like I had to double check. You know what I mean? I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And then you feel that pressure. Like even with Sid, like when Sid started commenting on the pods, I was like, holy shit. Like we have Chris Daniels subbed. We have Sid subbed.
Mike comments.
Mike comments on my pods. Like, dude, who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but I was going to say you are really tapped in, because I remember recently Mint and Hunk, they launched their pod. Great pod, by the way.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I love the, how they do it. Kind of reminiscent of like, the coffee brew, like when Annie was doing her thing.
Ann,
yeah, I love that.
I love that one as well.
Yeah, and so I love that they kind of do more of like an open conversation. You know what I mean? I just love it. And then it's like, and I see you early on in the comments. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, like Chris is tapped in.
Yeah, I love the content. Like those content creators are doing a great job too. I want to know like, what are people thinking about the hobby and their perspective, especially people that are newer, or it doesn't have to be newer fingerboarders, any fingerboarder, to be honest, new or older, just hearing that diverse opinion. Because, I have one way of looking at the hobby, but I've quickly learned that my way is not the right way. It's not the only way. There's more than one way to look at things. So it's exciting. And so I often just type in fingerboarding, fingerboards. I just look for the content, see what comes up. That's how I found Mint. It's how and then through Mint, I think I saw Hunk. His tutorial videos too came up, which are great, by the way.
Oh yeah, he kills it with the tutorial. I've never found myself interested in tutorial videos, like making them, because I'm. You know what it is? I almost feel like I'm not crazy enough. I don't feel like I'm good at articulating how to do a trick. You know, if that makes sense?
Exactly. I know exactly, because a lot of the tricks I'm trying to teach somebody, I learned that in 1998. So
I just feel like when someone's like, how do you do a kickflip? Or when someone comments on my videos and they're like, can you please post a kickflip tutorial? It's almost like, I don't know. Like you just do it, I total praise to Hunk, because he kills it. He
does a great job.
Yeah. He totally kills it. And he somehow takes something that can be looked at as like very straightforward, very cut and dry, and he makes it makes it entertaining.
Yeah.
So
really good editor.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Oh yeah. Love Hunk. Let's do this. Let's transition a little bit to talking about events, right? Because obviously that's another huge way that we grow fingerboarding, right? When it comes to events, I think of your event that you hosted that was like half camping, half fingerboarding. Tell me a little bit about that. Obviously, interesting concept. And are we going to get more Chris Daniels events?
I think we will definitely get more Chris Daniels event. And that event was intense.
Yeah.
And I've been promising to do
was that a play on like intense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Intense, and then also intense.
Yeah. Intense.
Yeah.
Wait, that kind of saying it like that kind of sounds. We're just going to pause on that one. All right. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Thinking about it, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Getting intense with the guys. All right.
Definitely intense with the
boys. All right.
Yeah. So I had this idea, because it was not even an idea of mine. I saw that in the old days of the German fingerboard scene, they had Castle Ost Bowlmasters, I think was the name of the competition. Okay. They go outside camp. They have a big bowl. They do a bonfire, and it was a big German event. Tobias Feeler, I think, was one of the people that put it on. I think he put it on.
Tobias.
If not him, then he was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Amazing dude. Fantastic person.
Love him.
Amazing filmographer, photographer, everything about him.
Yeah. The best.
Yeah, the best. But I was like, oh, we could do that here. And so like I camped at this spot called Tolt McDonald Park, which is, you're out away from the city about 30 minutes away.
Okay.
And you're camping and it feels like you're far away, but there's just a Starbucks right within 10-minute walk away from where you were. Except for the part where I picked the campground that was the furthest from everything. We had to walk across a bridge and carry concrete parks about a mile.
Nah,
that part sucked.
Crazy.
But everything else was amazing about it. So we had over 2 days, 60, 70 people, I think, in total,
That's
over
crazy.
both days. People came down from Canada. They came up from Oregon.
Right.
It was so much fun. All the homies. We have a really close-knit Northwest fingerboard scene.
Yeah.
And so I don't think we think of it as like really the Washington or Seattle area scene or whatever. There is like those microcosms all over the place, but really you'll see like at our Northwest events, everybody vibes with everybody. It's fantastic. So I wanted to follow up all these great Northwest events that were being done at that time by Alien Outpost. Malachi had been doing a lot of good events there.
Heck yeah.
Brought people together. And then also down in Oregon and Salem, there's Andrew Norman, 302 Casper. He's on Blistered with me too. Shout out him. He had a great handful of events down at this place called the Bad Space, that clip you're talking about, that fakey flip out like that.
Was that it?
That was that event. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, these guys are doing great things. And there's other people like Crate Doctor starting to do events too.
Yeah,
I want to do
curbside,
something. Yeah, he did this first event before that he did was at the Mukilteo YMCA where he works.
Hell yeah.
And so I went to that and I'm like, okay, well, I should do something. We can do a camping event. I was able to get a big campsite. It's like $200 and I could have up to 70 people.
That's such a wild time.
Yeah. It was
camping.
great.
What's funny is when we went to Fast Fingers, there was people camping in the field.
Yeah.
Like across from the big building.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so sick. I'm like, bro, like that's fun. They would just set up tents and they were just, I don't know if they were supposed to be setting up tents, but it was sleeping,
Maybe.
Our
event was so much fun though. We had shout out everybody that attended that event and I already knew a lot of people that went to that, but also met so many cool people out of that. Fantastic fingerboarders. And I actually ended up feeling like terrible, not because of the event went bad. I had COVID and I didn't know about it. I tested and I just couldn't sleep at night and I felt like terrible, chills and all that at night. Couldn't sleep, delirium. And then I was like, I'd wake up, head out to the park and check in how everybody's doing, hang out with them all day. Then at the end of that, you go back home because I was like, I'd even set up my tent I brought. I was so excited.
Damn.
But I did go out with COVID. I'm sorry, guys, if I got any of you sick.
I know, right?
Oh, it was so much fun though.
Dude, man.
Despite that.
Do you think you're going to do another one? And if so, what are we looking at timeline-wise?
I was hoping to do it this summer, but the past 2 years, number one, the bridge broke to get there. They fixed it since, but then that prevented, I think, last year. And this year, they were doing a whole revamp of the website. And then I was like, oh, the website's broken. You can't reserve. Then all of a sudden, the website was fixed and a lot of the stuff people had called in, and I should have done that.
Right.
There's still a shot maybe at the end of summer after the Crete Doctor event that he's doing in August 15th.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe in September. But then there's campfires. There's fire season usually and it gets smoky and not always the best time to do that. So definitely I think 2027 summer most likely.
Yeah.
100% intense too. Fingers crossed. But we're going to do it a little bit differently this time if we do it again. We won't do the far large campsite. We're going to pick up the closer stuff just across the bridge so people can park their car, only have to go across the bridge to put their stuff and set it up. We were carrying concrete parks. Like my concrete park actually broke, the one I had. The ledge fell off when I was moving it. It was just what it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
Another one down.
Yeah, but we're going to do it 100% and we'll give people plenty of notice because it would be awesome to have people come over because people expressed interest from all over the place.
Yeah.
Even internationally.
Dude, and that's something I feel like I can get the wife on board with, to travel with as a family. You know what I mean? To be camping.
Definitely have to come up. You guys would have a blast. And then there's you can get they have cabins, yurts. They have a storage container cabin right there. And so you guys have your own private place and it's $20 a night, $30 a night.
Oh, damn. We got to look into it.
Yeah.
We got to look into it. Let me ask you this, right? So being that you're someone who's been around fingerboarding for literally forever at this point, and you've seen a bunch of eras of fingerboarding, if you will, what has been your favorite era so far? If you had to pick just one.
I don't think there's a better time than the last handful of years.
Okay.
To be honest, it's like amazing to see how the community has accepted these events in person. It's like crazy. There's stores. Nothing beats now. Like,
Right.
And I always hear people thinking fingerboarding's dying. I see that all the time.
Right.
But
Which
I've
is
always
kind of a
seen
weird
those
take.
comments. Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
take. And I see it all the time. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like, it's the best it's ever been in so many ways. Almost every single way. It's better. Products better. Fingerboarder quality. The skill level's higher.
Oh, the skill levels.
The content
insane.
The content quality is higher and probably
Yeah,
better. And you go on and on and on. I think outside of that, my favorite time would have been like, I don't know, 2009, 2010 through 2013. That was a great time.
Oh yeah.
Or the original nostalgia time for me, like when I first got onto the internet, before even FFI, like just the magic.
Yeah.
Because, you lose some of the magic, but then you get something comes back, like Black River Comes USA. That was magical feeling.
Yeah.
And then now it's like these events. Every time I go to an event, it's the same feeling. I think there's benefits to every single time period that I've been a part of,
Hell yeah.
but nothing beats now.
Yeah. No, listen. Like you talked about with the growth and stuff like that we're experiencing in fingerboarding, talk to me a little bit about oversaturation. And because it's obviously not a secret, right, that there's so many brands. We're talking deck brands, truck brands, wheel brands, Fingerboard Podcast, Fingerboard content creators, Fingerboard magazines, like all this stuff, right, that one could make the argument that it's like oversaturation. And I've seen it a bunch, even like in recent, like last year or two, about Fingerboard Podcast specifically, since we're on a fucking Fingerboard Podcast. Yeah. But more specifically, like with companies too, like with deck companies, right? It's so easy now to obtain the knowledge on how to make a deck and to slap a graphic on and sell it for $40. Do you think oversaturation helps or hurts fingerboarding?
We need it because, quite frankly, there's this whole talk about hype brands, quote.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. It's not about hype brands. The brands don't want to not sell for the most part. They do want to sell. They can't keep up with production.
Yeah.
We have crazy demand now, and we don't have the supply really to maintain it. So you need a lot of brands until some more brands want to step up the production side of it.
Right.
I don't think it's there is an oversaturation. I don't think there's an oversaturation of content at all. In fact, I think the opposite. I think we need more people.
Hell yeah.
I think we need more people to get into the brand side, to build brands and to bring more professionalism in and bring the standard up. That's the only way the hobby continues on and to grow. So that's my perspective. I don't think there's an oversaturation. I think we need more.
Love it. Talk to me about longevity, right? Because obviously with someone who's been around fingerboarding, all aspects of it, right? I know you're not necessarily a brand owner, right? But speaking to someone who may be listening that's just starting a brand or maybe just starting anything in fingerboarding, how do you construct something that's going to stand the test of time? You know what I mean? Talk to me about that, like starting a brand and just having like some longevity and really making it last and really making it count.
That's a great question. And I think you need to have a passion for what you're doing to be able to, you know what I mean? Like you got to like what you do.
You have to.
You have to like what you do to be able to last a long time. Yeah.
I wasn't going to say it. But
I didn't say anything. I just winked.
Hey man, Freak Daniels, man. I'm just saying, man. We'll talk. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, and it's just like if you don't like what you're doing, maybe find something else you like to do, and it doesn't mean you have to leave the hobby. It could be like, well, I really don't have the passion for the brand anymore, or passion for doing fingerboarding in a certain way, or whatever. Maybe there's something else you can try that you enjoy. I know my attention span in terms of hobbies. I have a ton of hobbies, and I rotate them. I have to. Like I get bored really quickly. Fingerboarding stuck. But there has been times we talked about where I had to take a little bit of a break of less priority. I still, do some tricks on occasion when I see the board, but it's really important to like what you do. And it's also important to, people usually with their brands don't expect to be the hit. Like you see the success like Knife has had or Snake House has had with how big the brands become. Woob. I don't think any of them thought their brand was going to be that demand, and that can create a problem, right? Like you have so much, your stuff sells out instantly. And people call it a hype brand, but really they were just doing it because they love fingerboarding and they love what they do. All three of those companies.
100%. Like if you meet, I think anyone that says that like Knife is just a hype brand, they don't know Andy, because that's not it. And you know, to be honest with you, it's like, you know, Andy, I mean, he was on the pod and he talked about it. You know, Andy's a great dude. Definitely not the notion that it's like a manufactured hype is so weird.
I think people see the Supreme effect or like luxury brands and hype beast shoes and stuff. And I mean, could it be possible that there's brands that could do that? Sure. But definitely, I mean, Knife charges $40 to $50 for their deck. Yeah. They're not getting anything from the hype except a headache. Yeah. Honestly.
And then the shitty emails.
And the shitty emails and the I don't want to call people stupid because it's not stupid. I understand the frustration. The frustrated people having responses on like Facebook posts or Reddit or whatever. And then now there's like this.
Because Knife gets fucking cooked.
They get cooked by people.
Yeah. In
it's
the
unfair.
fingerboard groups. And it's like, come on.
Yeah, it's I mean, and he's number one, he's running Index with Nash. Yeah. He has his own brand Knife. He's doing all the stuff behind the Knife brand filming. I just saw they had the team out there filming. You know, dude. Sick team. Love everybody on that team.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. And he's doing so much. He's amazing photos. He puts on events all the time. Yeah. There's only so much one person can do. And obviously you have to find a way to produce. And that's a problem. And you think you find a way to do more production, the demand's even bigger than you anticipate. It's a challenge. And it's, I'm hoping that they can, if they want to ramp it up to that point, they can do that if they want to. It's a lot to, you have to add more people. And then what happens if your hype fades away? Then you have all that risk that you just, the investment you put in to get somebody else or 100%. To get more boards. It's a challenge. And I can sympathize. And I think the frustration is valid of not being able to get a deck. Yeah. But the commentary about the reasons why is not okay sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes it feels like people, if they can't get something, they throw temper tantrums and it's childish. Yeah. Like, you know how many times I've wanted to buy a product and it sells out? And I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Okay, I'll try next time. That's all you can do. Maybe buy it secondhand. I know the secondhand market's crazy right now. Yeah. But it's not manufactured. Right. For any of those three brands. I know that Woob upped the price because they saw that all the resellers were selling it for way more. And he's like, well, I mean, if there's demand for my product, shouldn't he charge more for it? Yeah. Get a little bit? I don't know. I think it's fine.
And some of those boards are like little works of art.
Oh, they are.
You know what I mean? Especially the Woob decks. I mean,
they're beautiful. Yeah.
Dude, if you ever seen one in person, I mean, goddamn. If there's ever been a board that's worth $300.
Yeah, Zach puts a lot of work into those. And it's like perfection, when you see one. So I understand why they're that much.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, if someone's listening that wants to build a brand or maybe even start making fingerboard content, right? And their goal is to grow their platform. Because let's face it, not everyone wants to grow their platform or cares about that. But if that's their goal, if you started over right now on Instagram, right now, started back at 0, 30 days, how do you grow a brand? High overview, how do you grow your brand, whether you're a content creator or a brand? How do you grow it to kind of gain some momentum?
Sure. One, what I would do is if I was a brand and I had been doing the product, I'd start off doing like my journey to making the perfect fingerboard product or something.
Hell yeah.
So some tagline like that, and show your journey that you are on and you allow other people to view into it. Be transparent in the process of making your product that'd be the first thing I would do if I ever did decide I was crazy enough to make a company. Yeah. CD's nuts might be happening.
CD's nuts is crazy. Yeah. I would buy into that though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah, good man. Stuff. Chris is nuts.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
That might happen.
Hey man, Dirty D Dex. Dude.
That's a good name. Yeah. Dirty D Dex.
Dirty D Dex is crazy. We got to put that on a bumper sticker.
I
love that. Listen, I love how you immediately though tied in a brand and content. Because that kind of leads to my next question, right? My next thing is like I noticed that there's not a lot of brands, more so now, but when I first started doing content, there's not a lot of brands that lean into the content.
Right.
They just kind of put their product out. I'm doing a drop and it's just a post. And I feel like it's a missed opportunity for a lot of brands that could very easily just set up a phone when they're pressing boards and film it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so, like, you don't need the crazy production. You don't need the crazy voiceover. Me personally, every time like I see on TikTok or Instagram a video, I'm trying to think who does a lot of them. Panic Decks. I don't know if you're familiar with Panic Decks. Andre, I think, is who does that, right? So he's posted videos. I think Pauly too. Tyler's just Pauly. I love watching that stuff. I love watching the background, like, you know, them doing the boards and stuff like that. And so I'm glad that like you kind of tied those in immediately.
Yeah, 100%. And like other people, I saw Chems did a live stream recently, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. So I watched the live stream of them hanging out, fingerboarding while making some of their product, their decks, showing in the process of it. Mallory from Unique was doing that too, the vlogs of that.
That's right.
Joaquin, love that guy. Joaquin, we were in Black River at the same time for the second time. He was awesome. He does December fingerboards.
And
he showed his journey, you know, and talk about an amazing fingerboarder and a great product.
December decks are next level.
They're fantastic.
And I think he restarted again because I think he took a break for a minute.
Yeah, I think he's moving back to France, and then or he already has, and he's gonna maybe bring it back. We'll see.
I like that.
But you know, it's like that's how I do if I was a brand.
Yeah.
And then similarly, if I was a fingerboarder, you know, if I was a newer fingerboarder, I do my journey to. I know I've seen like road to sponsorship, but I don't necessarily want to say road to sponsorship. I mean, that's a good idea for some people. Maybe it's like my journey to learn 30 fingerboard tricks. And you go through and document your progress every episode.
To take some of these fucking ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Jot them down over here, like 30 days.
Yeah, it's like, so there's some good stuff. And it's like, you know, the road to Nolly Heel.
Why you gotta bring that up? I'm still sore about that, man. I'm still sore about the Nolly Heels.
Listen, you got them. I seen you land them.
Listen, they're not where they need to be. Not proud of it, man enough to admit it. They're not where they need to be.
I think they're just as beautiful as anybody else's.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. I know you don't mean it, but I appreciate you saying that.
You know, there's beauty in everything. If you have a right perspective on things.
I love that. Let me ask you, speaking of beauty in things, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about AI and fingerboarding.
Okay.
I want to talk about AI and fingerboarding because I feel like now more than ever, you can look at an image. Maybe not boomers because they are crazy on Facebook. Sorry.
I know.
But you know what I mean? Like that, my wife has this family member that like, it's like, do you know that we know this is AI? Like, you know what I mean? And so, okay, sorry. But there's so many fingerboard brands. And listen, I'm not shitting on anyone because obviously everyone's has different excuses for doing stuff, right? But there's so many flyers now that you can look at and you legitimately know that's AI. Talk to me a little bit about AI, not just in graphic or not just in fingerboard flyers, but companies using AI for fingerboard graphics or their logos or, you know what I mean? Or the fucking songs. Like, you talk to me about AI. How are we feeling about it, Chris Daniels?
Mixed.
Okay.
So in one case, like, this is nothing new. I know like the generative AI has boomed recently, but
100%.
You know, if you ever use, you know, Photoshop or any of those tools, they have, well, like for example, After Effects or DaVinci Resolve has pixel interpolation. Technically, those are algorithms and stuff. Or Photoshop has like a remove background. They've had that forever, you know, or, it calculates what this should look like.
Yeah.
It's gotten better and better. So for me, it's like, okay, that's one way to use it. I think that's totally fine as a tool to use in combination with a lot of other stuff. Now, not saying that you can't have perfect prompts and come up with something that actually works.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, especially for flyers. It doesn't bother me if I see a fingerboard flyer that's AI because I know that person they're putting on all this other stuff that they're doing. They're going to host this event. They have to reach out to sponsors. They have to market their event, and they might not be a graphic designer, and they want to have something that looks aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. I know there's like a big backlash though on AI, so maybe at this point, maybe it's good not to use it as much.
Yeah.
But I'm not against it. I'd rather obviously have somebody like I see the ravioli drawing right there, someone like that. Yeah. Hire that guy.
I got that at Fast Fingers in person.
Yeah, Rocco. Shout out
in
Rocco.
person.
I hopefully he'll be at Fast Finger. It'd be cool to meet him.
Yeah, it was so funny. He walked up to me and was like, "Hey, can I give you a sticker?" Didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sure," and pulls out like an envelope and he's like, "Go ahead and go through them." And I start pulling them out. And I was like, "Oh, maybe he's just giving out this guy's stickers." And then I'm going through them. I'm like, "Wait a minute." And I look at him. I was like, "This is you?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my God." Yeah, it's funny. Dude, I love that. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah. And like, obviously I'd rather have that,
Yeah.
but not everyone's artistic
Right.
or has access to an artist. Like ideally the bigger brands, maybe to do an AI graphic that's tasteful once in a blue moon. But if you have the ability to, find someone that can do your art or commission an art piece, I think that usually would be better in my opinion, but not always. Like I recognize, think about how everybody uses other tools like, autocorrect on their phone. Like
Very true.
that's an algorithm too, just like
That's very true.
yeah. Now what I hate is fucking LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn and how all these supposed experts, all they do is post AI drivel, and you can just read the stories sound the same every single time.
Yeah.
The cadence, and I'm so sick of it.
Damn.
So fatigued in the professional sense. Do I use AI, like the Gen AI tools? Sure. But it's not at all. I edit it huge amount. It's all my own ideas, all my own thoughts that I put together, and I have it usually do an outline versus writing something for me.
Yeah.
Then again, if I just need to get an email out quick and I want to make it sound a little different, I might throw what I wrote in there and say, "Hey, can you make this better?"
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually
there's
better.
definitely a difference between crutching on AI and using AI as a tool.
Right.
So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I like that. There you go. Listen, I want to do this now. I want to talk about hot topics. I mean, granted, AI is kind of a hot topic, but I want to touch on some hot topics now because I feel like, okay, here's the first one. Let me just throw this out there. And I say this because you got a lot of shit about it online when you talked about it, right? So for a lot of us, this might be old news, but there was a time, a couple months back, when there was a company who was not only putting out their own trucks, which are awesome, by the way. I mean, I think they're on V5 now and they're great.
Yep.
But they were getting slack because they were also copying Black River, Dynamic, and I want to say Deli
trucks.
Deli trucks. They were copying them like 1-to-1 though.
SB.
Like even having the iconic Black River logo on the base plate.
Yeah, just flipped upside down.
Yeah. Just so listen. The argument, if I remember correctly, was some people, I mean, obviously I think that it's fucked up to put someone's logo on your truck and sell it, but there were other people who thought like, hey man, like I can't afford Black River trucks. So like, why shouldn't I be able to rock a, skull on my base plate for a fraction of the cost? So talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. And first, I think that video, a lot of people focused on the Black River part and they just kind of ignored the other problem, which was there was a lot of small single person brands that were getting ripped off. That
is true.
Especially with trucks. I don't think people realize how big the barrier to entry to trucks is because of how capital intensive it is to get in. People think, oh, well, a little bit of Zamac or, the zinc, magnesium, aluminum mixture, that's only a little bit. It's super inexpensive. Sure, the material, like that part's inexpensive. The design's not. Making the tooling, tooling costs tens of thousands of dollars minimum. And if you have really complicated, intricate tooling with a lot of parts to it, you can talk about, $40,000, $50,000 minimum. So that's one part. The other part is it stifles innovation. And what I mean by that is, and this is exactly why I made the video, nothing to do with the other companies necessarily. I just was upset about that. One of my friends has a wheel company and their stuff was copied by. Yeah. And he told me about it. And that's actually what spurred me to make the video because I was pissed for him. I'm like, this guy has a great brand. It's unique. It looks very distinctive and now it's getting cloned. And he was talking about, he was just about to start making trucks.
Yeah.
And he saw that got cloned super fast. He's like, well, these other small brands got cloned instantly. We could have had another truck company or two.
Damn.
But people make decisions not to innovate because it gets copied. And what I want to say to people that use those trucks that are clones for like financial reasons, look, I'm not coming at you guys. It's nothing to do. I mean, I understand like you have a budget that you have to maintain. And if you ride them, I'm not going to be mad at you. And I just want you to have fun with fingerboarding. What I want is that company owner that runs the brand, who has, by the way, really solid. Their V4s are really, really good trucks. They're actually good
really
product, and they're unique enough. Same with their V5s, or I haven't tried the V5s actually, but clearly they can make a good design. They can make their own trucks.
My point.
They can sell them, and they sell them for a cheaper price than the other professional brands. Why can't they just lean into that all in at this point?
100%.
And so for me, cloning it's technically illegal, guys. Like, it is illegal in our country, like here in the USA. Number 2, it stifles innovation. Number 3, it really screws out the people that put big investments into something for the community. You might not think it's about, think it's about money. A lot of these people don't make a ton of money even from their products.
And you know what's crazy is I've seen the argument that that people try to make about, sometimes when people make the argument about Amazon, right? Like, Jeff Bezos doesn't need my money. It's like, people tried to make that argument about Black River.
Yeah.
Like, they're like this mega $1 million company, and who cares? But it's like, when you meet the people behind the brand and you see all they're doing, and it's just like, come on, man. Like, it's just,
there's only one really big company, really big fingerboard company, and that's Tech Deck.
Yeah.
Big brand, right? The rest of them are not big brands. I mean, Black River, for being probably the biggest professional fingerboard company, they would be considered a small business in the USA.
Yeah.
They have, I don't know what they have now, but at one point they had, maybe 30 employees or something at one point. But then you see how the people at the town respect the brand and how they're treated, and the people get living wages and all that. Like, I get it though. Like, you want to support the even small single person too. It's cool. Like, there's cool brands that are like that, and they need to be supported as well. So it's like a balance. Yeah.
There you go. Let me ask you about this. So earlier it came up, we talked about FFI when Mike joined, and he got bullied a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So here's what I kind of wanted to talk to you, get your take on in regards to like a hot take, right? I feel like, and I'm going to try to word this in a way where I'm not like shitting on anyone, because in no way is it meant to like shit on anyone, but we are living in a time where we talked about how like bullying or any sort of like hazing is like not acceptable, especially now in fingerboarding. It feels very much like a lot of camaraderie, a lot of like, hey, don't, just be supportive. But I noticed in Mike's podcast, you both talked about how you would post clips back in the day, and people were like very constructive, like criticism in the comments. Hey, you should tuck your fingers. Hey, like you tapped. Now I feel like if you did that, it could borderline like looking like a bully. So in your opinion, do you feel like now, I don't want to say fingerboarding has gone soft, because fuck, that sounds crazy. But like, do you feel like hyping your friend up on like shitty clips they post? Like, do you feel like it does them a disservice? Like, if your friend posts a very obvious flick and pray, like, hey, that's a rebate all day long, and you're just in the comments, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. Like, do you feel like you're doing someone a disservice? And again, I asked because what you talked about with Mike, and then I'm like, well, can't have it both ways. So you tell me.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I would say that number one, you need to come, like what I've learned, I used to be a lot more critical about people's fingerboarding and how I thought it should be. I'd be, if I was like that now, it'd be way different. I wouldn't be doing what I do. You need to meet the people where they're at. So if somebody just get into the hobby and maybe they are flick and praying a little bit, you can say, hey, like, you did this part good, or maybe there's a different trick in that chain there that, you did this trick was perfect. That one you did, it kind of looks like you weren't intending to do it. Yeah. So in the future, I'd recommend just, getting it more control.
Now, are you saying this in the DMs, or are you commenting this under a video?
I've done both. I've done both.
Okay.
It depends. You don't want to come in hot and tell people they suck, because dude, that's demoralizing. And I mean, most of you out there are very good fingerboarders, but I could do the same to you.
Yeah.
I could.
There you go.
If I was
you
a
said
jerk,
you, like, so why'd you look directly at me? I same to you.
Oh, I was gonna do it
like,
over there.
Like, fucking bring up the Nolly Hills again? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was about to be like, bro, just end this fucking interview.
Yeah,
God damn.
Damn, I just roasted Chris.
I know, man.
It's like I could do the same to somebody else, right? Like, and no matter how good someone, there's always someone that could do that. Constructive, like, feedback, not criticism. Constructive feedback. Yeah. Hey, like, you're getting really good pop here. That's great. but your landing's a little. You could try finger tipping, or like you should check out this tutorial here, and give people positive reinforcement. There's some people that just hate getting any feedback.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do. Those sort of individuals, like I've learned, did not really. You give feedback and then they push back. You just don't engage with the feedback anymore. Yeah. Like
I think it also speaks to being self-aware.
Yeah.
Because we all watch our clips back.
Oh yeah.
So if you film something and it's ass, you know it's ass.
Oh, and
you know what I mean?
Still post
and then
it.
yeah, you know what I mean? And then that's your prerogative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, and listen, talking about being self-aware brings you to my next little hot topic question. Sponsor me. We all get it. People ask me to sponsor them. And I can't tell people. I'm like, bro, I'm not a company. Like, what do you want me to sponsor you with? You know, hopes and dreams? And so listen, where do you think that kind of like sponsor me mindset comes from, especially from younger riders?
Yeah.
So where do you think that comes from? And if you can give someone that's listening advice, if they're gung-ho about, I want to get sponsored, aside from being self-aware, give them some advice.
Yeah, I think it's natural, like, that people want that. They see their favorite riders are on these teams and are sponsored. Yeah. And you want to, you feel like you're doing this progress, getting better and better, and it's a way for recognition, or it's a way to get free product. It's a way, I get it. It's like really cool to finally get your first sponsor. At the same time, it's like, it's rich for me to say this, but it's not even close to the most important thing in my book. Yeah. It's they have fun, and I've seen people get consumed by trying to get the sponsorship.
Yeah.
And you focus on the wrong thing. And often what will happen is, usually if you are active in your community, whether it's online, through online posting and interacting with people, or in person, and you're a cool guy and you rep the brands and they see you, you often will get sponsored by somebody. And it's not always about skill. It shouldn't always be about skill. It might be about, it's usually a two-way street. Like, sponsorship isn't this thing where you just give me.
Yeah.
That's the wrong mindset for it. It should
100%.
be you, like, I'm doing this for you and you're doing this for me, or we're friends. We have each other's back.
Yeah.
That's what a sponsorship should be.
I'm glad you said that, because there are times when I've gotten shit for saying that, and I think that it's weird, and I understand why people have the mindset of like, oh no, like you should be like insanely good at fingerboarding. Yeah, but if you can't sell, and this is where I think talking about money in fingerboarding comes, like, people don't like it. It sounds grimy, but if you can't sell a board for your sponsor, regardless of how good you are, it is not a good investment. They should not be sponsoring you. If they just want to give stuff away to their homies, like, that's one thing.
Yeah.
And listen, if you can do every trick and every stance, but if you can't market yourself in a way to sell a fingerboard, what are we doing here?
Well, exactly. And that's my thought. If I ever had a brand, I'd definitely hook up the homies, but I'd also be looking out to people that I know will love the product, that will push the product to get into as many people's hands as possible, and grow fingerboard, make a positive impact on fingerboard in the hobby too, and also my brand. Like, that's what I would be thinking of as a company owner, if I wanted to really grow. Now, there's some brands that are just doing this. They have their companies. It's a passion project. They don't care about scaling, and then they just want to hook up the homies. Yeah. That's awesome. Like, that's the right way to do it too. Right. But nothing wrong with looking at, okay, we know this person has a ton of visibility out there in fingerboarding. They're also a really good, cool person. They contribute to the scene. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to sponsor them as a brand? Yeah. I don't know.
100%. I love it. Socal fingerboarding.
Yeah.
Recently it came under fire, and it was like, it's dying. Like we said, fingerboarding's dying, and this and that. And briefly, obviously you've been around the scene a long time, speaking for it as a whole, but also you have tons of friends in the Socal scene. You've been around the Socal scene. What's your opinion on specifically the Socal scene, Socal brands? Is Socal fingerboarding dying? West Coast fingerboarding dying? What do you think? What's your take on it?
So, there's number one, like, what has been built here in Socal. I know there's pockets too, even within Socal, right?
100%.
It's really amazing to see how engaged people are, how many fantastic fingerboarders, like, skill level is. who probably gets the most eyeballs collectively in fingerboarding might be California if you look at total view count, which is great, brings people in.
Yeah.
The potential, there's so many people in the area in SoCal, and the more people that do it, the better for the hobby.
Yeah.
I think the scene here is fantastic. It's unique too. It has its own pulse, completely different from any other scene.
Yeah.
West Coast fingerboarding, I would argue, I think the fight was, people were saying it's East Coast versus West Coast, but when I saw that, it's more like Northeast versus SoCal. And because there's different scenes along the West Coast, and I think there's a lot of fantastic West Coast fingerboard scenes there. I think there's a lot of fantastic East Coast ones. There's in the South, there's some fantastic group, Texas, Arizona, even New Mexico, Colorado, Utah. And then you go up north, you have like the Michigan scene's on fire. You have Chicago.
100%.
And that's not East Coast versus West Coast.
Yeah, man.
Really,
leaving all of them out of the conversation.
Really, the convo needs to be worldwide country battle. USA, we have like a big, huge tournament.
That's crazy.
USA, and then we'll see who comes face USA.
Well, bro, next month, you're our guy. You, Mitch, and what did we say the other homie's name? Tanner,
yeah.
Dude, you guys are our guys, bro. We need some USA fingerboarding jerseys. Say Daniel's on the back.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick.
Come on, man. You got to start practicing, Chris. Right now, we're going to do some reps. When we finish the pod, we're going to do some reps. Yeah, some little finger squats. Chris Daniels, talk to me about your hot take on fingerboard sizes.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like you're a size guy. Wait.
I am. Size is important.
Okay.
Size
talk to me
is
about
important.
size.
I think that every size, when used effectively, has its place. My hot take is that I've been seeing a lot of this pushback, like on Reddit and Facebook and other places, where people think that 26 millimeters a trend or 29 millimeters a trend.
Okay.
I want to flip it, because that's the original fingerboard size. And if anything, 34 millimeter plus, like 36 millimeter and on, that's the real trend. That's way more popular than 26 millimeter. And if I was the emperor of fingerboarding, I would put a tariff on 38 millimeter decks and above. We need
a tariff is crazy.
We need to slim fingerboards down, man. We need to trim it down.
Damn. Chris, as an avid 34 millimeter rider,
yeah,
I'm offended. I'm not only shocked, I'm offended, I'm appalled.
Well, I think 34 millimeters is right at that cup. If it's 33.8, I think I can let it slide.
Okay.
34.2, we may need to take a little bit of a sanding to it, shape it down a little bit.
Okay.
And I think what's going to happen is you're going to appreciate what I'm telling you to do, because I'm like Mayor Bloomberg in New York back in the day. I'm telling, it's like the soda tax or some shit. No, I'm just joking. Kind of joking, but not, and kind of not.
But to be fair, to your point, 26, 29 does get a lot of hate. Yeah. And it does, people pull it in as like, oh, you're just trying to be trendy.
Yeah. Well,
listen, man.
It's what we used back in the day. I love using it. I love using OG tack decks. I like using 33.8 millimeter boards on occasion too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. A lot of my stuff was like that for a while.
And you know what's crazy? I've seen your clips and stuff. I didn't take you for a Slimwood guy.
I am. I'm a it's how you use it.
Hey, man. It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Listen, aside from traveling next month, obviously, to Fast Fingers, are we going to see any more Chris Daniel popping up at random events? Shredder Mania?
Possibly. That's July.
Man, July. Last Saturday, July.
Okay, last Saturday, July. There's a shot for sure. Okay. I'll be at the Creek Doctor event on August 15th.
Okay.
Creekside.
It's not too far. It's like 30 minutes from your house.
I'll be there.
I know, but that's not traveling. I wouldn't call a 30-minute drive a travel, Chris.
Okay. Well, let me think what else.
Fingerboard Con in April.
There's a good shot for that. There's a shot. Like, I love going to the Rendezvous, but adding on Fingerboard Con.
Yeah.
I'm flying. You're flying across the country too.
Yeah.
Going to Rendezvous is fantastic.
It's a mission.
But having the Fingerboard Con and what Vito and Clayton and the Black River team have done is just enhances it. Now, I think they need a bigger space probably at this point. They have outgrown it. But yeah, I think that's exciting. And you will see me at events. It might be some random stuff. I need to get out to New York to hang out with my homies
That would
out
be
there.
sick. Texas Views, maybe?
Texas Voo would be fantastic to do. I want to get out to the store in Richmond, Virginia that opened up. Like, and I'm out in the East Coast sometimes, so I'm gonna try to start chaining them.
Have you been to Skate Station?
No, I need to go.
I know. We're just talking about, and I'm so bummed. I don't even want to bring it up.
I
They're
guess
doing an event this weekend.
I know, and I can't go.
Same.
But I guess the crew's going to be at Fast Fingers.
Damn. Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not going to be there. So
That
I'm gonna
sounds
be there
like
in
a
spirit.
problem, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be there in spirit. I may send you with like just like a piece of my garage, just so I could be there in spirit.
I'll get a little plushie of you. Get someone to commission a plushie.
There you go.
Like that the little FB.Chris right there, the pizza box plushie.
I would just take one of my setups.
Okay.
And just do a trick in Germany. And
that'd be sick.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
God, man, that'd be super sick. Let me ask you, looking back across your, and I hate to be that guy and be like fingerboard journey, but looking back across your fingerboard journey, if you will, and there's so much to look back on. That could be a butt joke. You do have a badunkadunk. Sorry. What? Looking back across your whole journey, what are you most proud of?
Well, I think for me, the stuff that I really care about, like obviously, like winning, the USAFBL and the co-national champion thing was awesome. That's fantastic. Going out to all the events is awesome too, and being present to help build the community.
Yeah,
and also like having created some things that have influenced people is probably more important to me than anything else. Like whether it's the whether it's the history of fingerboarding stuff, or it's back in the day with FB Weekly, or being my time in FFI. I like I like it when people come up to me the most. Like that's the biggest compliment. Someone's like, "I love what you made here." Like this, it changed how I felt about fingerboarding. It inspired me. It made me love the hobby again. That's awesome. But I also like to hear selfishly that, oh, you're my favorite fingerboarding because you rip and you're sick. That's the best. But that's the best. I'd rather have it known of the content that I've created, it has helped the hobby holistically and brought it more visibility. Like to me, that's number one, building the thing up. So
hell yeah, dude. I mean, you're legendary. You know that. I said it earlier, but in covering the history of fingerboarding, you literally made yourself part of the history of fingerboarding.
Yeah,
there's no way in my mind, if 100 years from now, someone sat down and wanted to learn about fingerboarding, there's no way that there's not a Chris Daniels whole chapter in the book.
I'd be sick if there was one. There needs to be a book. There's been books actually, but they need a history of fingerboarding book.
In 100 years from now, though.
100 years from now.
I'll be in the Cliff Notes. Remember those old school books where you can look up the word, the one word. It'll be look up Chris, and then all the way down the list, it'll be Chris Vargas, page 42. It'd be
42 through 45.
No, 40, maybe half of 43, page 43. Maybe.
Mike would have a whole chapter.
Oh, dude. Mike would have a fucking book series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would narrate his own part. Can you imagine that? A whole fingerboard book narrated by Mike?
History of Mike Schneider.
That would be sick.
That needs to happen. I've been meaning to do something like that. History of Flatface / Mike.
That would be super sick.
Yeah.
Damn, that would be sick. Listen, if young Chris Daniels could see you now, what would he think? What would he say?
I think he'd be pretty hyped about seeing what older Chris Daniels has done with fingerboarding.
Yeah.
At the same time, he would have expected to be a Fast Fingers champion at this point. I'm just joking. But
listen, couple weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
It could happen.
Yeah. It could happen.
It could happen. There you go.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, dude.
They have the wings like the birds.
Wow.
Oh, wait, Angels.
That's
birds.
my comfort movie. You know what I'm talking about? That movie when you were young that you watched?
Hundreds of times.
Dude.
My little brother's favorite movie.
Danny Glover in that movie was
so
felt
good.
like my dad. You know what I mean? Low key,
And he talk about a tearjerker.
Oh,
man.
man.
He adopts them both. JP and what was the main character's kid?
I
like JP the best.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at JP.
It could happen.
I like that. When the dude's pitching and the angel you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, all right. Reel it in. About to get emotional on the pod, right as it ends. Listen, what do you want your legacy to be in fingerboarding? Obviously, we don't get to choose our legacies, right? But if you could leave your legacy, right? If you could tell people what to take away from everything you've done, what would you ask people to take away from your body of work?
Yeah, so not only like a top skilled fingerboarder, like that part, I want people to obviously love my fingerboarding for what it is and for pushing the boundaries of what's possible in fingerboarding. But more important, as I said before, it's like the community aspect, building up the fingerboard scene in different ways, and making it better than it was before, and making it more open and accessible for people too, and inclusive.
I love it. I love it. Here's what we're going to do to wrap up the pod. We're going to do some questions from the internet. Then I have a couple questions of my own.
Perfect.
First question. And so we're looking for quick responses with these internet questions. Okay. Most of these we covered in the pod, but here's a couple that we did. Someone wants to know, when are we getting the next Chris Daniels part?
Oh man, there's I think I can talk about it. Flat face full length. I may have to cut that one out.
No, Mike talked about it.
Okay, flat face full length is coming out soon. I'm also doing the blistered full length part, and then our
comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. That's
Bro.
the next one. There's gonna be a lot of Chris Daniels.
Listen, a lot of Chris Daniels is crazy.
And a lot of Chris
that
Daniels.
should be. Listen, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're getting the ender for it.
Really?
You're getting the ender. You haven't even filmed your part, and you're getting the ender for it. You and Mike, at the end.
When's the due date?
That's a good question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I filmed 2 clips for the whole thing.
I
don't want to tell. I don't want to tell. And you know what's
crazy?
crazy is there's so many people that have already finished their parts and they're bangers.
Oh shit!
Like Manny finished his part.
Shit.
Rock finished her part.
Shit.
Esco finished, and I'm like, bro. Matter of fact, Christian and Jake are texting me right now, like, bro, we need to film. Christian goes to the Philippines in 2 weeks.
Oh, we got to film.
Yeah, we got to film. All right, so that's when we're getting the next Chris Daniels stuff. Whole lot of Chris Daniels is what we should call the next video part.
Yeah.
All right, we got multiple requests to ask you how you got the nickname Freaky Daniels.
Yeah, so that is because, we have our sessions at Jason's place. It's the troweling crew.
Yep.
That's the whole like little Northwest Puget Sound area crew
Yep.
that hangs out. Some people from Canada as well, some homies.
Oh, yeah.
And once stuff gets a little darker outside, the tricks get crazier and
Freaks come out at night.
The freaks come out at night. So that's the reason why.
The Black River stamp on your stomach, that clip.
I guess that's part of it.
I love that.
Part of it's like fingerboard related. Part of it's just having fun, and having fun with your friends. Sometimes it gets a little wild.
I love it.
You get a little bird crazy.
Hey, little bird crazy. As long as it's not a shoe bird.
No shoe
I'm
birds.
good with that. Hell no. Or ostriches, bro.
Those are mean birds.
Man. I drove up to Sylvain about a year or two ago, and there's an ostrich farm. Nah, bro.
I'm going to be right through Sylvain later. So.
Oh, dude, you should listen. It's $10. It's an experience.
I like bad birds.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there was 2 birds. If you watched the vlog, there was 2 birds like Barry White getting it on. It was crazy. Anyways.
Well, that's not the type of bad bird I was talking about, but maybe.
Oh, my bad. Well, hey, depends on what you're into,
I was thinking about getting bit or pecked by a bird, dude.
Oh, I mean, you can technically still get pecked by a bird. You know what I mean? We can arrange. Look, I know a guy who knows a guy. All right, never mind. Listen, who would win in a fight, Mike Schneider or Jake PFB?
No holds bar?
No holds bar. Anything goes.
I kind of think Jake.
You think so?
He has the reach advantage.
It's crazy.
But Mike is like indomitable will. So
no, yeah, I was gonna say. You know what it is? I feel like Jake would try and use his words to like calm Mike down, and then Mike would just John Wick him and just kill him 6 times.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? Are you telling me he doesn't give you John Wick vibe? Look at him. He's right behind you. You're telling me that guy can't take Jake out? And yeah, he's right behind you, right over your shoulder.
Hey, Mike. Oh, yep.
There
maybe.
You go. I could see it.
I think it would be a philosopher battle.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, more of a battle of words.
Yeah, I think they would just hug it out, or they, you know what? They would just come to the agreement that they would like each respectively fuck themselves up, so they both lose. I feel like they're good guys like that. All right, next question. Probably one of the most in-depth questions. Do them cheeks clap? Sorry, I had to ask you that. Listen, no need to answer that.
Sure.
Hey, perfect. What is your favorite way corn is cooked?
Oh, you know what is really good? I like to roast corn in like a really hot coal-fired oven.
Yeah.
You have a lot of butter, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
lime juice, cilantro.
Damn, there you go. Some mesquite.
Yeah.
Damn, man, there you go.
That's probably one of the best ways. But
Not a question, more of a demand. Make a tiramisu now?
Oh yeah, tiramisu is good. I actually have never made tiramisu,
No.
but I love cooking.
Not sure where that came from. Listen, this is not the official one, but somebody asked, and this is the first time somebody puts their own, so I think it's interesting. This is not the official one. Fuck, marry, kill, Trav, Remy, or Nick. I hope you know who those people are.
I do.
Okay.
Shout out to the boys. They're the
Yeah.
OGs. We're talking about before FFI.
Yeah, let's do it.
Trav, Remy, and
Nick.
Shit. Kill with kindness.
Yeah.
I
Mercy killing.
Yeah. Nick.
Okay. Sorry, Nick. You're out of there.
No, it's kill with kindness.
Okay. So you're still out of there. What do you mean? You can kill with kindness. He's still out of there.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a good guy.
We'll just oof him. That's what the kids say, right?
Oof.
Yeah, we oofed him.
Yeah.
So it's a little lighter.
What's the other? We have Remy
and Trav
Mary,
left.
and Travis would be
Blowing his back out.
Yeah.
I'll say it. You don't have to say it. I'll say it. Someone says, let's see. We talked about that. Shout out F Buck Discord and ask him about
Oh yeah.
Baldy Git.
Oh,
Hopefully
it's
not
Baldy Git. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not like a mad slur. I'm over here just reading this out.
No. It's FB UK.
Okay.
So it's Fingerboard UK.
Okay.
Even though I'm not from the UK, like I wore a kilt once in Scotland for my wedding. So I'm on there.
Hey.
I got invited on there by the owner. So
There you go.
Shout out to that. They have a really active, vibrant community, and you have like Simon Cartledge is on there from Cartwheels and Tom. Baldy Git's becoming one of my homies like on there. I really like. He is the funniest guy. I learned that he is hilarious, and so we banter back and forth about stuff a lot. He's hilarious. I really enjoy that guy.
Listen, someone wants to know, what is your death blow in a game of skate? Like if you're trying to get dirty with it. So you're at T to T.
Yeah.
Your turn to set.
For fingerboarding.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I hope. I hope
you can see some of them on the games of skate I've done. So I have like, it might be an ollie late back foot flip or any of those variations. It might be a switch front foot impossible full 180 or a Merlin twist. Merlin twist or a switch front foot impossible body varial.
All that sounds illegal.
Switch front foot impossible. The funny thing is heel flip variations. Fakey heel flip gets a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then what else?
Fakey front heel is always
it would be a tricky one going this way.
Yep.
Backside heels. But yeah, I like to do circus tricks type of thing to get people out because we had a really good game up to that point. It's kind of like putting respect to them. Like, if you can do this,
man,
then
make them earn it.
Yeah, make them earn it. And I should be trying on those. So yeah, like you can watch some of the clips, and I usually end up doing a few really cool looking hard tricks and games of skate.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Bad Blood.
Oh, I'm glad you had an answer. I was hoping you had an answer. When people say like, don't meet your heroes. I feel like you're the prime example of like, nah, fuck that. Meet your heroes.
Amen to that. Yeah, meet the heroes.
Meet the heroes, man.
And
because sometimes they end up on your casting couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Throwing up a crazy fist during the fucking any of the pod. I love that. Listen, we're gonna go through a speed round. So I'm gonna give you 2 words, 2 things. You just shoot them off, no context.
Okay.
Cool. Here we go. Long socks or short socks?
Short socks.
FB pods or FB vlogs?
Pod.
Cats or dogs?
Cats, I guess.
YouTube or Instagram?
YouTube.
Pokemon or Ninja Turtles?
Ooh, probably Ninja Turtles, but I'll say Pokemon tough. Actually.
Okay. Nollie or Switch?
Switch.
Black River Dynamic?
Oh man, tough question.
Tough. Shout out both.
2 of the best. I'm sponsored by Black River.
Okay. Political answer.
And they have more product technically.
Okay. We love Scott either
Scott's the best. You can't get any better than his company though.
Oh yeah. Love Scott. Fingerboarding or skateboarding?
These days, fingerboarding.
Who's on your fingerboarding Mount Rushmore?
Man, I have a script for that, and basically the gist of it is define the route. What's the criteria?
No. There's no context.
Okay,
You just gotta
so
throw out some names.
okay, Martin Winkler, Martin Ehrenberger, Mike Schneider, Baldy Git.
Damn, Baldy gets crazy. There you go. And you were just talking about him. I love that. All right. Are you ready for this? Smash, Marry, Kill, Fingerboard Podcast Edition, Mike Schneider, Levine USFBL, Mint and Hunk as a duo.
Shit.
Yep.
Well, you gotta do the double team for the
Oh, yeah.
F word.
Oh, okay. So Freaky Daniels is real. Yo, this might be the first tripod on the Bigspin. This might be the first tripod.
Or I get a double
listen.
kill Halo style just by. That might be.
That would be crazy, actually. Like the Mortal Kombat, like finish
get the
him.
double kill.
Okay.
Halo double kill, you know.
So
with
that
the
was
grenade.
almost the first
double team.
tripod on the Bigspin.
Yeah.
All right, so double kill, double oomph.
I guess Mary Mike and then Levine.
Smashing Levine.
Sure.
Hey, man, he's flying you out. That's great. He's flying you out to Germany. And
that's pretty crazy. Shout out. I mean, no cap. Like, talk about what he has done for it's crazy.
Yeah.
How much he's done for fingerboarding. And sometimes he's not, I don't know necessarily why, maybe, but he's done a ton of work and effort to get fingerboarding across the country, and he continues to do stuff. And the fact he's flying out 3 of the champions and got the trip all arranged to Germany, he made it happen.
Yeah, I was about to say, he may be responsible for USA getting the win.
He might be. That'd be sick. And he has some great fingerboarders going. So shout out to Levine.
There you go.
He's putting in some work.
There you go, man. Well, listen, Chris
Vargas.
We're right there. We're locked in. Listen, I almost don't want this to finish, but listen, this has been a experience for me. I just want to thank you so much for coming down here, being on the pod. Your favorite fingerboarder, Chris Daniels on the pod, CD Player Zero. Thank you so much. Listen, what do you want to leave the people with? What do you want to leave the people of the internet with?
So first, Chris, you're killing it with your content, and it's one of the best things in fingerboarding. Most important thing is what you're doing.
Damn.
Second, I'm going to apologize. When I kind of got into the rendezvous, I don't remember where it was. It was a long time ago. I hadn't heard of you yet. And some kid comes up to me and says, "Hey, are you FB.Christopher?"
No way.
And I said, "Yes."
Do you really?
I did. This is real. I didn't know who you were at the time.
Okay.
And so I said, "Yeah." And so they had me sign something. And I did
No
CD player.
way.
So there's a kid out
crazy.
there that was expecting. I let him down. He wanted to meet the hero Chris Vargas, and he got Chris Daniels.
He was like, "Wow, you're much slimmer in person and taller and better looking."
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Hey, man.
But
I'll give it. Your beard is definitely more full. I kind of have,
you have a better beard.
No,
I have patchy.
Me too, dude. I have a holy jeans.
Yeah, same.
Oh, shit. Holy jeans?
Holy jeans.
There you go. Well, listen, where can people find you online?
Yeah, so guys, you can find me at youtube.com/@cdplaya. On Instagram, you can find me at cdplaya0. And other than that, you can find me on Discord, on a lot of the Discord servers. So Fingerboard Underground, Fingerboard Overworld, FB.UK.
Damn.
I'm pretty active on there just to make sure have the pulse with people, and you can reach out to me there.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, not really Facebook so much. I really don't like Facebook.
You still got that only no.
Oh, the OnlyFans?
Yeah, I was about to say you got the
bro. I got shut down.
That got shut down. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was too freaky.
That's crazy. Listen, Chris Daniels, thank you so much for doing the Bigspin. I appreciate you so much. Genuinely, I told my wife this was like a Grail episode for me. So I hope we did the internet justice. Chris Daniel justice. Thanks so much. Bigspin Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out
Love you all.
Chris
Love you all.
Daniels.